10. Hmm? What are you lazing around for? Wait a minute. Oh, crap. I forgot to... Why do I always forget to do this? I always forget to do this. Update the stream title. It is part 7 now, not part 6. We are not in a time loop. We are moving forward, so you don't have to worry. Guten Abend, streamer. Listen, I may not know much about languages, but I think I can figure this one out. Wait a minute. Good evening. Yeah, definitely. Lol, close enough. What? Was my pronunciation not perfect? Not on point? Every time I do... It was clearly a pronunciation. Well, you know what? I get credit for trying. I get a participation award when it comes to bad accents. Because, like, you do an accent, and either it's, like... There's no such thing as a passable accent. Either it is a complete and total joke, or you absolutely nail it. Which is hilarious, considering that even people within the same nationalities have different accents. So it's, like, impossible to really gauge whether one's, like, good or not. Gold star? Yay! That's good enough for me. Why couldn't Twitch just be like, oh, you're in the browser, let's open stream? What do you mean? Was it not there? I had to refresh? What? That's weird. Yeah, it's the first time I've heard about that. Huh. Thank Obama. Obama. Thank Obama. Yeah. Our nemesis, Obama. The one who is responsible for every bad thing that has ever happened. Thanks, Obama. No, I'm gonna go with your other one. I'm gonna go with your original one, Obama. That's the new meta now. Hey, Kokodayo, welcome in. How you doing? And a good evening to you as well. Or morning, or afternoon, wherever it is. Oi annoyed O Nova. Hey, Izumi, welcome in. How you doing? Y'all having a good night? Hopefully y'all are. And if not, I'm sorry. I was gonna say hopefully this stream will make it better. But then I remembered how you guys behaved last time, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, it may be better for you. I guess it all depends on your perspective, on what you all think is funny. I personally would like to have a very nice, wholesome environment. Where everyone is as absolutely clean humor, and no one gets bullied, no streamer gets bullied. Don't bunch me up with them, I wasn't there last stream, I know. Sometimes it's easy to just kind of write off chat. Just as like one singular entity. Because otherwise, it makes it weird that like I'm talking to a whole bunch of different people at once. How many are people in here right now? 6? That's a lot. Nova hates us all equally? Yeah, of course. Listen, I grew up with the millennial mindset, right? Which is we hate everyone equally. Equal opportunities, equal rights, equal lefts, they all say. The chat reflects the stream. God damn it. I didn't want anybody. That's my thing. I go into other people's chats and do that. You can't do that to me. Oh, right. Hang on a minute. I gotta close my window. 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had my window open for a little bit just to let all the smoke out. No, I will not elaborate on that. Anyway, so you farted. Listen. All right, listen. 10. My farts are not that explosive. All right, you're projecting a little too much there. I see we were attempting to. Look, Aaron, it was just salmon, all right? It wasn't supposed to smoke that much. I'm genuinely shocked that my smoke alarm didn't go off. Genuinely shocked. But, yeah. See, we have a new quote already? What? Really? What did I say this time? Listen, there's a reason, I mean, other than the fact that I don't have, I have, shit for taste, right? But... there's that's the other reason why I don't cook that much, is because when I do, I legit put my life in danger. You know that trope of, girls in anime that, always burn everything they touch? That's literally me. I am the anime girl. If I start cooking and it requires, stovetop, open, not even open flames, but, an open heating element, clear the area. Because it's about there's a non-zero chance that the immediate area around me will become a hazard zone. My farts are not that explosive. Well, they're not. The invitation to teach you to cook is indefinite. Listen, some things are probably just a lost cause. Right? I've been trying to figure this out ever since, middle school. I have not had any real success. The only time I've actually had success is when I cook over an open fire. That's it. Anything in a controlled environment like this is that's cooking on hard mode for me. If there's anything in the world I'm good at, is teaching idiots to do things. You know, Aaron, if I read that message very carefully, I think there might be some subtle little jab at me. Just somehow hidden in there. And after that amazing idea that I gave you earlier, too. This is the thanks that I get. No, chat, I will not tell you what that amazing idea is. Because if I told you, it would ruin the whole surprise. Unless you guys are no longer students. In which case, whatever. Nova, what? Acting like my coworker again, 10. Just saying my name and then not even elaborating. Take her up on her offer. Do it. Why? Are you speaking from experience? Nova. Oh my god, you guys. She's a good cook. You know this? You know this from experience? Has she cooked for you? Guess ahatum. I don't know, Izumi. What ahatum? Really? We're doing this? I'm showing off some RPG Maker games made during the Game Jam now, guys. Is this the time for your shenanigans? Is this really the time for your shenanigans? She taught me some mean recipes. Yeah, but would you be capable of doing said mean recipes? That's the thing, you know. If I, pranking Nova, it's always on the clock. Oh man, what did I do to deserve all this? What did I do to deserve this kind of treatment? I'm trying to be positive and wholesome, and you all keep talking about farts and how I can't cook. I mean, yeah, I know I can't cook, but you don't have to rub it in. Well, I didn't cook them for him, and he knows they are good, so I would say yes. Well, alrighty then. You guys know this is gonna go on YouTube, right? I'm just exporting all these archives. You want the entire YouTube community to know that I just can't cook? I thought this was something between us. These archives are all saved on YouTube now. I should go, I really, you know, we've had the deadline extension, right? So I should go about finishing exporting everything to YouTube. I've been working on exporting my streams to YouTube little by little, but yeah, it just hasn't really, I just kind of stopped for a little bit because I'm like, I'm lazy. And also I don't really care that much. Yeah, kind of heartless, I know, but that's just how it be. Alright. Also, I need to start closing all this stuff down. Alright, hang on. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Lumi Arkham, welcome in. Welcome in. Just cut this bit. That would require more effort on my part, and I'm not sure I want to do that. Besides, it's fun to get the full Nova experience, I guess, for some people. But hey, how you doing? Welcome in. Alright. Wow, Izumi, really? What is it? We have one new person in here, and then Izumi just goes ham on the quotes, be like, no, you guys need to know. You need to know what Nova is all about. Man, don't even give people a chance to get acclimated here. I need to expose. Nightbot's gonna do a good enough job of that already. I'll have to just push it along. Alright, let me just move all my notes off to the side here. And then we have... bring up the game list. Alright. You can't bury your secrets if they're all in plain sight. Well, I can't bury your secrets. Like, I don't have... like, I can bury my secrets all I want, but you guys keep digging them up. Please, you don't have to use my full name, just Lumi. Lumi it is, then. Welcome in, Lumi. I hope you're doing alright. Okay, so... for our highlights today, I actually have 2 with maybe a third that I'm still kind of up in the air about showcasing. Not that it's bad, but it's just like there's interesting things to talk about that I kind of want to talk about. But the other 2 games are fairly lengthy, so I don't know if I should get the shorter one out of the way first or what. Nah, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this one. Because there was one game that I played that I knew, like, within the first 5 minutes that it was going on the list. Should I play it now, or should I wait a little bit? Or maybe I should just not tell you which one was which, and that way it'll let you, you guys can decide for yourselves which is which. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna do this one first. I should probably plan this stuff out, like, you know, before going in, huh? Okay, well, again, let's put out the ground rules here. Just for those, just in case someone drops by for the first time. This is not a live judging session. This is just a highlight stream, which means that every game that I'm about to show you right now, I have already judged, I have already played, and I've already scored. Which means that if we come across anything that would disqualify it, like a game-breaking bug or anything else that would hamper the score, don't worry, you're fine. Even if my opinion of the game is heightened after playing this, scores are not going to change. Unless we come across something that violates the rules, such as finding copyrighted material that I somehow missed my first time through. But these are games that have stuck out to me in one way or another, and I just wanted to kind of put a spotlight on them. He isn't judging games, just us. I've already judged you, 10, and I already know that you're a lost cause. So, let us start with this one. Can you judge your own channel? I can judge my own channel all the time, and I've judged it to be something great. How good are Nova streams? They are irreplaceable. That's exactly what they are. Alright, let just turn off the music. Okay, there we go. Nova is third screen material. Well, listen, that's just a matter of opinion, you know? Your chat is irreplaceable? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. So, here's the first one that I wanted to highlight. Moonlit Blessed. Copyright music? Nope. Alright. So, obviously, I looked at this and I was like, oh, okay. Alright, something. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I can move myself. Wait a minute. Where am I? There I am. There we go. Kind of put myself back where I belong. 2K3? No. This was done in VX Ace. Is that a fairy? That is in fact a fairy. Where's Fortuna? Where's Fortuna when you need him? Alright, so normally when you have a title screen that's all pixelated like this, when there's like a really strong pixelated style, one of two things is going to happen. This is either going to be something amazing, or it's going to be all style, no substance. It's on here, so I'm highlighting it, so I guess you can figure out which one it is. Will you piss off? Stupid bots. Once again, I have to keep telling these bots, I already have the best viewers out of all of them. Also, what does Twitch mean likely ban evaders? Does this mean that this person got banned once and then just came back? I just got here. Hey, Fake Coffee, welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Okay, so let's get started. So just FYI, this is, it's made in RPG Maker VX Ace, but this is actually going to be more like a visual novel. You know we can't see that, right? So you look like you're just talking to... Wait, what? You guys seriously can't? Oh. Whoops. Wait, so every single time I've been saying piss off or like actually shouting at the bot, you guys have no idea? Like that just came out like completely out of no... Wow. Whoops. And here I was thinking that, you know, this could be a nice little performance piece, but sometimes it shows up, but a lot of times, yeah, we have no idea. Oh, no. Like, randomly, when I just yell piss off, I'm always yelling at a bot. Not you guys. I would never speak to you. Well, I would speak to 10 that way, but I wouldn't speak to the rest of you guys like that. Yeah, alright. Okay, when you see custom title screens, there's two outcomes. The game has default assets and doesn't look like the image suggests, and the game actually has that art, and most of the time for me it was the first outcome. Yeah, I've seen that happen too, but hey, don't you worry about it. That's not the case here. So here we go. You've never been afraid of the night. How could you be when the shining moon is always there? Our kind, gentle moon god that protects us from the dark. Even in the middle of the most encroaching shade, it watches over us in its full brilliance. But one day, the foresight says, the moon will dim and vanish. And on the third day of its disappearance, a young hero will leave on a journey to bring her back to our skies. You've always known this would fall to your best friend because... And this is an interesting take on gender selection. So, before you say anything, no, the character art does not change. So, they're either an NB, or you can assign them as a girl or a guy. And you know what? I don't know if... Like, this is one of those weird things where, like, you have to decide, like, as a viewer or as a player, like, was this done because it's easy to, like, you only have to draw one set of assets? Or is it just because, or is it like a champion of the design that you could assign any kind of gender to something like this? Yeah. Why does the gender set the character's personality? Notice the three options. They're not really... I wouldn't say that. I'd say like they're just different ways to describe the same person. Pavlov's Nova. No way. I didn't. There's no way that I did. Hang on. No. Did I not? Ozzy, I swear to... Get out. No. You deserve that. You 100% deserve that. Get out. Bad Ozzy. Okay. So, I'm going to... So, this is a choice-based visual novel, right? So, this is not like an actual RPG. So, because choices are very prominent in this game, I'm going to make all the choices on this playthrough that I did not make when I played it during the judging. Such, we're going to do this. If someone can do it, it's him. And what is his name? Yeah, that's the same name as when I picked the I picked the character as a female first time. So as usual, I'm just gonna stick with the default names. Yes, even the Foresight has always known. They've trained Themis since a very young age, just to be ready for this moment. On the other hand, you... That's right, you are not the hero this time. You are just a random person. Alright, are like most other girls you know, are just a normal boy from the village, or a common person like any other. I'm just gonna go with this one. And what is your name? Yep, it's the same name. Okay, cool. So again, we're sticking with default names here. But for this moment, you are no less prepared. You've even studied hard to learn some magic. Because since long ago, you decided you wanted to go with him on this journey. And there it is, Moonlit Blessed. The moon is gone. It's the third moonless night in a row. You've never been afraid of the night, but in this darkness, even the lamps of the village seem feeble and powerless against it. Through the window, you pray to the sky above. You feel a presage of something. Who is it this late? Without delay, you open the door. Wow, she really is awake. I thought people usually slept at this hour. I told you, I knew she would be. Sorry to come this late, but don't worry, it'll be just a moment. It's Themis, oddly still up and about. Usually he would be asleep by now to be ready for training at sunrise. At his side is a diminutive figure, a fairy pale like the clearest moonbeam. Themis? And is that? This is Dot, an envoy of the moon. You know what that means, right? Were you afraid to open the door? What if it had been a monster from the depths of the night? One of the terrible shadows from between the trees. Hey, don't be mean to Albedo. It's dark out there, sure, but we're safe inside here. Being so brave already. On the third day of the moon's disappearance, a chosen hero will depart. The Foresight was right. I knew it would be you. Shh, lower your voice. It's late, remember? Ah, whoops. Your Foresighters were accurate on their prophecy, you know. They got all the details right, down to the silver of your eyes. Well, all the training would have gone to waste if they had been wrong. As soon as the moon vanished, I had the feeling the time was coming. That's amazing, Themis. You're finally gonna be a hero. I still find it hard to believe. Dot and I will let everyone know as soon as I wake up, but I wanted to tell you first. I knew you would still be up fretting about the missing moon. Maybe. Was I? It's okay. I'm not even that sleepy yet. I may know one of these games from somewhere else. What does that mean? Hey, Fame, how you doing? So, you'll be leaving tomorrow? I can't afford to delay much. Tomorrow morning, I'm departing to fulfill my duty at last. I'm going to bring back the moon. There's still time for goodbyes, so no need to hurry yet. You see, I know this is your duty, but I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to come with you. Huh? Are you sure? It'll be dangerous, and I'll have to travel far from the village, and even more reason to come and help. Excuse me. It doesn't say anywhere in the prophecy that the hero has to go alone, does it? I guess it doesn't. You'd really come with me, even if it's dangerous? If that's okay with you? I'd be glad if you did. It'd be reassuring. Then I guess we both should go to sleep soon if we want to get you up early enough. If we can. I feel like it'll be hard to catch a single wink. She's right, hero. You'll have to wake up very early tomorrow. Well, if only someone hadn't suddenly appeared to nominate me Chosen One at this inhuman hour. Well, excited to launch my Steam page into coming soon. Awesome! Hey, good luck with that. I wonder how they did the pronouns. Whether they're in variables or not, or just conditionals with different messages for each pronoun. I hope for their sake it was the former. Yeah, I mean, only the dev can answer that. In Ace, I don't think you can... Yeah, you can't store strings and variables. I know you can do that in MZ, but I don't think you can do that in Ace. But, you know, with a little scripting, it would be pretty easy. You can? Oh, really? Shit. Wish I'd known that when I was working on Prayer of the Faithless. Hylix did it for its randomized text. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, yeah, that's probably how it was done. Yeah. It'll be a good look, but good luck? Nah, this is going to require tons of time to make maps. A lot of game development success is going to rely on luck, Fame. You can make the perfect game out of, but if nobody knows about it, if it gets drowned in the latest releases before people have a chance to look at it, then yeah, there's a lot of luck that goes on in this process. So wishing luck is never a bad thing. Can't help it. I'm an envoy of the moon, remember? My working time is at night. Sure. I'll save the complaints for when the moon's back then. We can prepare together tomorrow. Get something warm to drink. It might help you sleep a bit. Get something warm to drink. It might help you sleep a bit. I can't freaking read. Will do. I think I'll sneak into the kitchens a moment. You'll make the Order regret having trained you so much. Hey, it's your idea. Surely they can forgive their Chosen One for one small cup of milk before departure. Get some good rest too, alright? Full night to you. I'll try. A full night to you too. Ms. leaves down the corridor and you quietly close the door. Hopefully there's still time for you to get enough hours of sleep. So, yeah, in terms of character introduction, I think that was pretty alright. You know, introduce the 3 characters that you'll be spending pretty much most of your time with. But, I mean, this is gonna, I don't know if this is gonna be nitpicky or not, but it really would be good to help define characters by having them spend time away from each other. I know a lot of this story is going to be about how they interact with each other, but there's going to be a reason why I wanted to bring that up. But for right now, we're just going to save our progress and then, yeah, move on. So the other thing to point out, and this is something that took me a while to get used to, and I don't think I ever really got used to it. Also, first off, look at that window change, the window skin change. Very nice, reflecting the time of day. Pay attention to that as well, because that's going to be important later. So you'll notice that there's no way in hell that these backgrounds were pixeled, right? So yeah, these are actual real-life photos that got compressed to hell in order to try and fit the style here. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't think this works. I think the backgrounds work. I think the character sprites work. I don't think they work well together. They could have processed that photo better. Well, it's not about processing it better. I don't think, yeah, there's a way that, like, at some point you have to decide that whether or not these, because look how, like, fine and noisy these pixels are. Oh, chosen one, may you succeed and be blessed. Bring us back our kind, gentle mood. Hang on, I'm trying to get to a picture. Together with the other villagers, you also bow to the hero. It feels strange, like they're all praising the savior they raised and cultivated for this duty instead of wishing well to a dear friend. You know what? I love it when the game is like going out of its way to make it harder for me to talk about it. Because, all right, yeah, drastic Clash of Art style. So, again, I haven't looked up any kind of dev notes or dev logs, so I'm just talking out of my ass here when I'm saying this. This smacks to me as either a constraint or an experiment that went wrong. That's what it feels like to me. It's like you tried something different. Either this was deliberate and you tried something different, or not. Because you'll find out later that this game actually has a lot of full-screen CGs. And they look great. They look excellent. I love every single one of them. So for that not to happen here is kind of weird. Of all times to not have the pixeled backgrounds. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I get it. I think it was probably just time saving, probably. But in that case, there needs to be better ways to handle it. So, granted, I've never tried something like this before. But at the very least, I know that the credit there, each photo was given credit. In the credits list, so it wasn't just a matter of just Google Earthing a bunch of random locations. So I definitely appreciate that. I mean, they could have drawn over this photo. Then it becomes a question of, is like tracing, and that's whether or not that would constitute, infringement. So again, I'm no lawyer. I haven't gone around and saw I haven't done like the legal research to see if you could do that. But I do agree that at least, or at the very least, you could use it as a reference. But yeah, is this photo copyrighted? Well, pictures, I mean, they are, stuff that you can put out there as I can't remember the exact term for it, but, pictures are just as copyrightable as IPs and games. So yeah, it would not surprise me one bit if these pictures had some kind of, like, not fair use, like, free to use clause in them, but yeah, that like if you just take them and then try and credit yourself over them, then yeah, that's definitely theft. Like if I took the picture, I trace over it in a heartbeat. No, the dev definitely did not take these pictures. There's a extensive credits list for the pictures used here, so no, the dev did not do that. You notice Tenmis looking at you. With your cane and equipment ready, you step forward to follow him. You can feel the surprised looks, the confused stares. The voices asking, why is she following the hero? Perhaps some even think you're stepping into a limelight you don't belong. And maybe they are right, you think. But you do try to pay them no mind. Together you step outside the village and leave it behind. It's almost like no one has any expectations of you. Because you're not the hero. That would fit very well, nice and snug into, like, say, a jam with a theme of beyond expectations. It's almost like we're living in one of the legends. Those where the moon becomes thinner every night until it disappears. Hey, Wind Rider, welcome in. How you doing? That's true. But it's fine. Even in the stories, the moon always ends up coming back. Are you nervous? I'm good. Happy Wednesday. And happy Wednesday to you too. Me? Nervous? Why? They've always said this is going to be a dangerous journey, Even I'm getting a bit anxious. I've done this kind of photo pixelation before, and there's like a certain process I figured out. A process that makes it look closer to actual pixel art. Do you always have to say the Wednesday in your head when spelling it out? I don't actually say it. I have to spell it out because, yeah, it doesn't spell like it sounds. Wednesday. Yeah. Makes it look nicely dithered and less splotchy. Well, I mean, all these suggestions could work, but it all depends on what the dev thinks. Because if the dev actually only took these pictures for time constraints, then, you know, suggestions for how to make it better are kind of moot, because maybe later after the competition, the dev will replace all this with hand-drawn pixel art. But my biggest problem is, okay, now that we have an actual working example. So yeah, the photos look fine. The character sprites look fine. But yeah, they do not look well together because there's just so much noise in the background. I don't have a problem with the fact that we're using real photos and crushing them to match the resolution that we have here. The problem I do have is that because it's so noisy, it's so busy, that it overshadows the clean, smooth pixel art that we have for the character portraits. That's the issue here. Yeah. Meanwhile, Nova does pixel art almost from scratch. Well, yeah, almost. Yeah. It's a day where you get to marry Ness from Earthbound. Bruh. Ugh, that's a fishy pun. Nova's eyes roll so far back now. That's okay. I've gotten so used to 10 that, like, whenever he just makes his presence known, I just plug my nose and just like, all right, well, Fishman's here. You know. So yeah, I'm just used to it. Hey Nova, I've got it. I've got my finger on the trigger. Go ahead, 10. What are you gonna say? Let's hear it. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. They've always said this is going to be a dangerous journey, you know? Even I'm getting a bit anxious. And who wouldn't be? Every start of a journey is a new experience. The worry is part of the anticipation. And Dot knows this how? I just want to make sure. I don't want to end up dragging you into trouble with me. Oh, by the way, I guess for the devs here, for the new people in here, sometimes I ask questions on chat when I'm reading off text. That doesn't necessarily mean I think it's a problem. Sometimes I like to kind of voice my thoughts as I'm reading, as best as I can, obviously. But if the writing answers the question later, I think that's good. But just because I point something out doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's a problem. It just means, hey, I'm reading the text, this is what it's making me think. So it's up to the dev to determine whether my thought processes are aligned with what they want or not. Hey, John Erico, welcome in. Pretty art? Yeah, I agree. The seed of doubt has always been there, it's true. This journey is no mere stroll. Everyone that fears the darkness of the night depends on your success. With that in mind, you feel... Well, how do we feel, guys? Bit doubtful, can you really do... Okay, Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot what I chose the first... no, confident. I chose confident the first time. I'm gonna do a bit doubtful. I also did the photo thing in my entry, but I won't say more than that in case you're not judging it, haven't yet. I have judged another game that was, that had pictures in it. I'm not sure if that's what you did, if that was yours. The thing is, I don't know which game was yours. I was just given a list of games, and I actually went out of my way to avoid looking at the devs' names. So I could have played yours, I may not have. I actually don't know. I didn't even know you were a participant in this competition until you just said that just now. Sorry. But yeah, when the judges were just given a list of game. The Dream is Dead. I have not played that. Hang on, let me check to see if that's on my list. That is in fact on my list. All right, so I will be getting to that one later. But yeah. I don't know, are we truly ready for this? If even our dear moon has been taken by darkness, how can we be so sure we can fix it? That's what the hero is for, of course. Listen, I understand the worry, I do. But you can entrust this to me, even if I'm also nervous. I've been preparing for it all my life. It's something only I can do. If you prefer, you can just stay in the village. I don't want you to feel obligated to accompany me. I don't want to put you in danger. I don't know. Should I? This should end with a question mark, by the way. It's alright, Albedo. You are not the hero. No one expects anything from you. You can go back to the lamplights of your village, where it's safe, until the moon returns and all goes back to how it has always been. It would be that easy. There's nothing else you have to do. Even if it will feel slow, the wait will pass eventually, and all will be normal again. Perhaps you should... Oh! Didn't even know this was an option. Yeah. Return to the village, still come and help anyway. If I pick return to the village and we just end it on that note, that'd be kind of a dick move, wouldn't it? Nah, we're gonna keep going. Even so, you want to go. A dangerous journey is easier in company, and you'd rather not leave a friend on their own, no matter how prepared. No, even if it's hard, I can go. I want to go. The moon has always protected us all, hasn't it? It's only right that I try to repay that too. I may not be the hero, but you shouldn't have to do this alone if I can help. Thank you, really. You being here means a lot. I hope I didn't sound like I didn't want you here. So, I have a couple of thoughts about that. First off, I appreciate the internal monologue and the external dialogue with the hero. But if I made the choice, I'm conflicted about the game assigning my character motivation. Because the thing is, in choice-based games, the character's personality is no longer entirely their own. Because now the player is going to inject some of their personality into it too, depending on which choices are being made. So, to tell me, I appreciate the internal dialogue and the external, but I think you should pick one or the other. And personally, I think I would want to take out the internal dialogue and just let the explanation kind of handle it. Because that gives players a little bit more room to kind of fit themselves into the main character's personality. I'm already here. The whole point of me being here was to help out the hero. So, I do appreciate the moment of doubt, but if I chose to go with the hero, and then I also chose to stay with the hero despite the doubts, I don't really think we need the extra explanation for that. I think we could just go straight to the dialogue here. Having one more person does have its pros too. You can keep up, right? Come on, Dot. Of course you can. I can. I won't be in the way. Even if it's scary, I'll be brave, I promise. Good, good. That's what I like to see. Very well. Now that we're all set, it's time to decide where to go first. Huh? Aren't we going to save the moon right away? That alone won't be enough, unfortunately. Correct. As I told you yesterday night, hero, this is what we'll have to do. Our final goal is to climb the tallest mountain and reach the highest point of the sky to rescue the moon. But of course, the moon itself is not the only problem. The full moon wolf, the waning hourglass, and the crescent lake. They're not really an obstacle to get to the mountain, but they're all connected to the moon and are also suffering from her lunacy. Before we save her, we must save them too. Lunacy? What happened to them? How are we going to save them? So in this case, lunacy is a proper noun, and I know that lunacy is capitalized in the middle of other sentences, so in this case, this should also be capitalized right here. Don't fret. Saving each of them will be like a little trial before the final goal. But with my guidance and wisdom, it will be like a breeze for the hero. You said you know where to find them, right, Dot? Of course. Just choose which one you'd like to deal with first and follow my lead. Yeah, see, there we go. This is a good background. I think this fits just fine. It's not nearly as noisy as all the other pictures that we've seen. But yeah, this works out just fine. Just point me to where you want to go. I mean, you say that, but you also told me that, hey, just tell us which boss you want to fight, and then we'll just go to it. But all we're really doing here is selecting destinations. So in the interest of the non-linearity, I'm going to go to places that I'm going to take this in a different order than when I first played. But just FYI for the dev, in case the dev is watching this, the first place I went to was actually right here. This place, to tackle the wolf. And the last place I went to, actually, you know what? I never tried this. Let's see what happens if I go here. The tallest mountain looms in the distance, awaiting the hero, but it's not time to go there yet. There are still 3 guardians left to save. Fair enough. So I'm going to go here. This is the last place I went to my first time through this, so I'm going to go here first. Through the path to the north, you see ruins in the distance. Follow this path, and it doesn't tell you which guardian you're going to deal with. Following the path directly north, you notice the ground and surroundings becoming more mountainous, The vegetation is way sparser than the forest you're used to. All around you feels bigger, more spacious, and free. For a while, you see no sign of any settlements or travelers, but that doesn't make you feel that uneasy. You're not alone after all. The hourglass should be hidden around this area. This might sound silly, but what we're looking for can't be a simple hourglass, can it? Well, it is an hourglass, that part is true. Just a very big one. What do hourglasses have to do with the moon? You ask such silly questions. This isn't relevant to the mission, is it? You can almost swear she's hiding how much she doesn't know the answer to that question. Is it? Is that why you think it is? Okay. While stopping from time to time to enjoy the view, you both continue following Dot until you reach what seems to be an abandoned temple. And notice the window skin change? Oh, I think I read about this in a book. This place. This is a temple from the people before the Order. That's correct. This is a very ancient place. So people used to venerate the moon here. Imagine if we had a temple like this in the village. I wonder what made those people disappear. You're looking at it the wrong way. What remained of them is what became your order. I see. I hope they won't have left any traps for us. Stay behind me and I'll check ahead as we go. You enter the ruins through what seemed to be the main entrance and find yourself in a corridor. The stone arcs go on, letting some light filter between the ancient cracks and dilapidated windows. But the more you advance, the more the light starts to dim. The corridor gets divided here. 3 entrances invite you to enter. The left one seems to have patches of sand on the floor. The middle one seems to go deeper and darker. The right one feels like a nice breeze is blowing from it. Where do you sense the hourglass, Dot? I can sense it from all around. I'm super sure it's through these paths. All of them? That saves us some trouble, but we still have to choose one. Which would be the fastest? A direct way might also be the most heavily protected. But if all paths lead to the hourglass, it doesn't hurt to try finding the safest way. You think you should take... And this is the part where I have to question a couple things, because, you know, there are a lot of visual novels that lead to a dead end, right? You make the wrong choice, you die, and then you come back. Now that we're actually starting our journey, this is the part where you have to wonder, hey, is this one of those games? Because you have no idea. Or maybe you do, because you may have looked at the game page and it says, hey, there's no dead ends. But as a judge, I do not. So I look at these 3, and I'm I'm like, huh. What difference does it make? So again, for the record, for devs, when I went through this area, I picked the breezy path. This time I'm going to pick the dark path. Why don't we go to the middle? Temples usually have the most important stuff at the center, don't they? That's what I was thinking. It'll probably be the most direct path. It looks a bit spooky though. Good thing we've got a lamp. You decide to continue through the middle path. As you walk, you notice various repeated indents on the wall, possibly from the old torches that must have illuminated this corridor in the past. In general, you realize that decoration is pretty sparse. Maybe a lot of it has been lost to time. Back there in the village, there are a few statues representing the moon god's figure, but you see nothing of the sort in here so far. Apologies if I'm reading these weird. Like, even when I was reading this in my head, sometimes I had to do a double take. Probably because of the font. Because I get that, I respect that you chose a font to have the exact same fidelity as the rest of the art style. But man, it got hard to read sometimes. Like the T here, like sometimes I swear that it almost looked like a C. Am I the only one thinking that, or do you guys see that too? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not well versed in fonts, so I wouldn't be able to suggest a different one. But yeah, that is an issue that I had when I was reading. And when it comes to a visual novel, which is 99% reading, it was kind of rough. You don't know much from these predecessors of the Order. Alright, let me try that again. You don't know much from these predecessors of the Order, aside from the few stuff you read. Okay, I don't think that you can blame the font on this one, though. Aside from the few stuff you read. Yeah, that ain't right. But walking where they walked makes you feel more curious. About your similarities, your differences, about what led them to what remains of them today. Dot, do you know what happened to the people who used to be here? You said they became the Order, but what made them change? It's hard to imagine how a place as big as this ended up abandoned. I guess they just moved on? Why worry so much about them? They're long gone anyway. Well, it's normal to wonder about the past. We can't ask them anymore, so we have to ask ourselves. But time marches on, no matter how much you want to wonder. Sometimes all that remains is sand. It's true that there's starting to be a lot of sand here. Themis is right. It might be the lack of upkeep for hundreds of years, but the layer of fine sand between the floor tiles feels a bit unnatural. The floor doesn't get your attention for long, though. You find yourself soon stopping in front of a large stone door at the end of a corridor. Oh, big door. That's a good sign. Well, time to figure out how to open this. Let me check for anything suspicious first. Themis examines the door while you hold the lamp close. No keyhole, no doorknob, and it doesn't seem to budge at all. Just perfect. There has to be some way to open it. Looking around, a familiar pattern in the wall catches your eye. You remember it from one of your books. Symbols related to the legends you know by heart. The phases, they call them. A moon that becomes smaller every night until it disappears, and then slowly comes back. Curious, you touch it. Click. Suddenly, you feel a rumble through the floor. Albedo? What was that? But nothing happens. I thought I touched something I shouldn't have. Don't startle me like that. Here, let's try pushing the door together. I'm thinking the sand may have just gotten it stuck. You nod, and at the count of 3, you both push the door at the same time. But suddenly, the door opens, sending you forward from your own push, towards a pit on the floor. Themis manages to react quickly, and hold onto the door fast enough. But you are not so lucky. You fall down the pit, face first into a cushion of sand. That hurt. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. This is less deep than I expected. Oh. That's when you notice something pointy hidden by the sand. Multiple pointy somethings. Almost as if there are spears buried under where you are. Here, take my hand. Anyway, here's the CGs I was telling you about. And yes, just like I mentioned before, these look just great. The backgrounds on these CGs look just great. Just fine compared to the pictures. So yeah, that was a weird one. That's a weird contrast. Timus helps you get out of this almost pit of death. Cool. That was close. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely makes the photos feel like placeholders. Yep. Someone could have ended up like a colander. Be careful now. Why does an envoy from the moon know what a colander is? Good thing there's this sand all over the place. You're not hurt, are you? Yeah, I'm alright. Maybe that switch had something to do with it. I'll try pushing it this time. I want to check something. Themis pushes the switch, and with another rumble, you see the pit on the ground close. He approaches the open door and tries to move it, but it doesn't seem to budge at all. So this both locks the door in place and opens up the pit. I see. So it seems. Good job, hero. Now the way is clear. Glad we don't have doors like this back home. You continue through the door and find a staircase leading deep down. The floor below is dark and cold, and the ground is completely flooded with sand. Dodd nods. The hourglass feels very close now. Interesting. Yeah, so the method, when I picked the breezing path, yeah, that was a completely different experience to get there. But at the end of the day, we're arriving at the same destination, which I have mixed thoughts on. Like, obviously, not every choice needs to have a cascading snowball effect, but kind of makes me wonder why three different choices, why three different paths? Because that's just a lot more work, you know? Different paths. There's different because that CG, yeah, that we saw, yeah, it was just for that one path that players could have completely missed. Yeah. I mean, whether or not it's a good choice or not, you gotta respect the amount of work that goes into making those different routes. Right, so I think we can be happy with that at least. Following the grim passage, you arrive at a large set of doors tall as the wall itself. You don't even need to think about how to unlock them, because a river of sand flowing from inside is keeping them open. At last, the central room welcomes you in all its splendor, hidden under a sea of sand and more sand. What's with all the sand? It's like being in the middle of a storm. Good luck, hero. I'll be watching from inside your hood. Do you even fit in there? Don't you want to take a sand shower like the rest of us? To be fair, neither do I. We're gonna have to do something about that up there then. Themis points to the altar at the center of the room. The source of the sandfall stands right there, an hourglass bigger than any you ever imagined you'd see. Its center glows in a purple, ominous flame that taints the grains of sand as they pour from it infinitely. That doesn't look normal or right at all. Any ideas, Dot? It's simple. You'll just have to touch its core to remove the lunacy. That will make it stop. How do we even reach it? All that sand is blocking the way. Easy. What do you do to reset an hourglass? We flip it? Correct. That should make it more accessible for a moment, at least while it resets. Sounds simple enough. The question is, how? With such a big device, it isn't a simple matter of picking it up and turning it upside down. there has to be some better way to do it. Your eyes go from the hourglass to its supports, to a half-buried crank in them. Though the sand makes walking difficult, Timus manages to drag himself to the crank. It's old and rusted, and moving it seems like it's going to be a hard task. Maybe there's something you could do to make it easier for him. The best option would be to... So, here's the thing that let me just go... Sorry about that. Didn't mean to smack the mic there. Hope you guys didn't have headphones on, because that probably would have smacked you too. All right, let me pull up my notes here. All right, so one thing that I found odd about choices like these. Now, it's a choice-based text adventure game. I get that. Not a problem. Choices are great. But when you give choices to the player, I always have to wonder, why would a player want to choose any of these choices? So when you put a choice in the game, I feel like there has to be some kind of justification as to why you want to give these choices to a player. So let's think about this for a second. This entire time, the reason why we're on this quest, we wanted to help out the hero, right? We were friends with the hero. We had our doubt at the beginning of this journey, but we decided, hey, we're gonna push through because we want to help. We want to be here. That is the entire purpose of this story. So what possible justification would there be to choose option 3? Do nothing. Timus can manage on his own. Like, I get that, I don't know, for me, it's hard to tell the difference between a choice to quote-unquote give players freedom versus a choice that would just be out of character, just straight up out of character. For me, that's option 3. Option 3 is the latter, just straight up out of character. Because I feel like doing nothing would actively undermine the whole purpose of us being here. It's like, well, if I'm just going to let Timus do anything on their own, then what's the point of that? Now, if I was given some reason, right, from reason that I should do nothing, like, for example, hey, this is the hero's trial. Maybe Dot says, hey, this is the hero's trial. You should not interfere. Then that I believe would be a valid option, a valid reason to choose option 3. Now, granted, I've only played this game once. I've only gone from beginning to end once. I've made one set of choices. I don't know what effect these other choices are going to have on the long term. After finishing the game, I went back to the game page and I saw, yeah, it's advertised that choices will have consequences, but, you know, if I had a nickel every time I heard that in a game, you know, I'd be rich. I could buy Elon Musk. I'm not saying the dev is not true to their word, but I am saying that choices with consequences, that alone does not sell the game for me anymore. Especially when it comes to a story-heavy, text-based adventure like this. I need some reason why I would want to choose 3. You would owe Undertale 1 nickel? Yeah, pretty much. So, again, just for the record, Dev, my first time through, I went with option 1. To help Timus move the crank. Now, I'm not going to choose that one this time. So, I am curious as to what do nothing would do. But I've already judged this game, so nothing here is going to change my opinions on this. But that's also not to complain about, you know, being a judge or anything, but I beat this game. This game took me 50 minutes to get to the end credits. That is not enough time to go back and check out what else I can do to really like chew this game up and really like see all the effects of the choices. I played this game once. I got 3 different endings because there are some choices near the very end that completely changed the endings that you get. Spoiler alert, I guess. But also because I can get, like, I got 3 out of 6 endings, all based on choices that I made at the very end. I'm not sure how that's going to work for the rest of these choices. I don't know what scores are being kept in the background. I don't want to know. But all I can talk about is just in this moment, I see no reason why I should do nothing. So let's do that. Maybe staying put will be more helpful than messing it up by accident. It is the hero's duty to do this after all, and you are not the hero. You stay near the entrance from where you can see the entire room. You see Themis grab the crank and start to push it, and a rumble fills the room. A small tremor makes all the sand shake. From there, you notice the hourglass start to tilt. The arc behind it trembles a little bit, like it's slowly waking up from a slumber. Your eyes trace the cycle of shapes. You think again of the legends and of the nights you've spent reading books until late. You don't have that many of them, so you've read more than. You don't have that many of them, so you've read most more than once. All of them have something to do with the moon, of course. Though you think best not to admit it, sometimes you wish there were stories to read about other things too. But the elders of the order probably wouldn't like that much. There's a clanking sound. The hourglass falls into place, and the sandfall slowly comes to a halt as the sand shifts inside the glass. The core is now wide open. Now, quickly, before it restarts. There it is. Themis swiftly jumps to the altar and extends a hand towards the core. The dark glimmer tainting the grains of sand grows in size, engulfing Themis' entire arm and then the rest of his body. But as fast as that happens, it dissipates. Instead of the ominous glow it used to have, now the core shines with pure light. Also, just for the record, I'm just going to go ahead and give a slight spoiler here. I mean, if you guys are worried about spoilers, you should probably click off this video right now because this is a text-based adventure. There's no real like RPG mechanics to this. Every screenshot you're going to see is going to be a spoiler, so just FYI. Me helping the hero, it's worth pointing out that this is the exact same outcome that happens regardless of whether or not I help the hero. So at least from the immediate, there's no immediate difference about whether or not I choose to help the hero or not. I guess it just depends on the main character's mentality. That's what changes. All of a sudden, Themis collapses on his knees. Themis, are you all right? Yes, my legs just failed me for a moment. I'm fine. It's nothing to be too concerned about. The after effects of the lunacy can just take a bit of a toll. That was the lunacy? Don't worry, see? I can get up just fine. Fine, but let's sit down and rest a bit at least. As the calm starts to settle in, the receding sandfalls finally let you see the room properly. There are columns all around, with the hourglass at the center of it all. Behind it is a circle of familiar shapes, the phases, now with the one of the top lit up. The hourglass is so bright now. What happened to its core? That was a fragment of the moon, of course. It was tainted by the lunacy, but not anymore. In front of it, a statue slightly taller than you is unveiled from under the cascade of sand it was drowning in. The remaining grains of sand fall around it like a soft mantle. Oh, a statue. I was starting to think there wouldn't be any. You approach it to examine it up close. It looks like a priestess wearing a crown made of 3 golden stars, and in her chest is the same pattern of symbols yet again. You hear a whisper among the sound of the sand. One for the many, to free us from this madness. May the eternal moon forever guide us. I do like how after every scene with a choice, it gives you a chance to save. So it's like, okay, you want to try something different? Alright, yeah, there you go. You're very, very sure you heard something. It wasn't just me, was it? Did you hear a voice too? A voice? Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Why do you sound like you're telling a ghost story? Well, that might not be so far off. This place is full of ghosts of the far long past after all. Now that the hourglass is back to normal, we can leave them here to rest in peace. Sorry for the disturbance, ghosts. The hero just spared them more torment from the lunacy, so all's good. The sudden sound of something metallic falling takes you by surprise. When you're going to use onomatopoeia like this, like clank, probably best not to have it in the same format as the rest of the narration. You should probably either italicize it or put asterisks, surround it with asterisks. But yeah, that's a minor thing, but yeah, it's probably important not to just say, because otherwise it reads like clank. The sudden sound of something metallic falls and takes you by surprise. Or just take out the onomatopoeia in the first place. You have a sound effect to back it up. Why not just rely on that? Either one works. What? What was that? Uh-oh. I hope the ghosts aren't mad. We should probably just leave them be already. Ah, there, the crown. Something in the statue has changed. Its crown has fallen, and now it rests on its hands as if it were offering it to you. The wear on its head could be a signal that this has just been an eventuality, but is there such a thing as a coincidence? Its features are so eroded that its expression is unreadable, but something invites you to take the crown. You reach out your hand, and as soon as you do, you see them. Vague figures all around the room, looking at you. No, wait, not exactly at you. They're looking at Themis, whispering with dozens of voices. One for the many, to free us from this madness. May the eternal moon forever guide us. And among the ghosts, a shining figure stands right where the statue was. Its face is still indistinguishable. Albedo? Albedo! You dropped the crown to the floor. Are you okay? You suddenly spaced out. Yeah, sorry. When I touched the crown, I think I saw all the ghosts. The memories from the hourglass sand must have affected it after being submerged in them for so long. How does that work? It definitely isn't like some normal timepiece. The ghosts are trapped in time, you could say. It's an obsolete device now, but it used to mark how long was left until the lunacy was strongest, like a cycle. The hourglass itself stores memories from each turn it does, and in those memories, it keeps the ghosts of those who succumb to the madness. 1 second. Sorry. It sounds like the lunacy was way more dangerous back then. You've got the moon to thank for things being better now. As long as it keeps shining in full, you'll all be safe. Wait, so it wasn't always like that? Think of it like one of those legends. But more importantly, shouldn't we take the crown with us? Shouldn't we? It could be important here. Well, it's been offered to you. Besides, this place is abandoned anyway. It would find way more use and care in your village, wouldn't it? Come on, it's clearly cursed in some way. But it's a treasure, a relic of the moon. Would you rather leave it abandoned here with all the sand and dust? Both of them have a point, maybe one more than the other. But if the statue wants you to take it as thanks, maybe it's not such a bad idea. It seems like the ghosts looking at Themis were also expecting something. In a way, it could be like freeing a part of the spirits, like bringing them to what remains of their people. When you put it that way. Exactly. It's what they want, isn't it? And like that, it's decided. Taking home some treasure from this adventure in the ruins doesn't sound too bad. But of course, you'll have to decide who takes it. You think the person carrying the crown should be... So, it's interesting because I feel like when I take the crown, I would get to see some weird things if I go to the other parts of the game. But my first time through, I got this crown at the very end. So if that were the case, I didn't really get to experience its effects. But last time, I picked myself. I should carry the crown. So this time, I'm going to make Dot carry it. Let's see what happens. Why not let Dot carry it? She seems the most eager to take it with us. It even looks a bit like her own crown. Huh? Might it not be too much for her? I don't know if she has enough strength to carry it for long. Yeah, that was kind of the point. Smart-ass fairies need a little physical labor. They'll buff up. What do you mean? Of course I can do it. Just watch. Dot grabs one of the ends of the crown with her small arms and flutters her wings to lift it. She concentrates on it like she has never concentrated before. Like it's a matter of life or death. It's lift or leave a priceless ancient treasure of the moon behind. Do or die, even. Dot's mindset is focused on one thing only. Dot is strong. Dot is strong. Dot is strong. Dot can lift boulders the size of meteorites. She gathers her strength and rises up. And a few seconds later, slowly descends back down. On the other hand, I'm just a mere guide. The carrier of the relic should be someone worthy, of course. Of course, of course. Seems like it'll have to be one of you two after all. Well, that's a letdown. You think the person to carry a crown should be... That'd be funny if I could just insist that Dot carries it or we leave it behind. But, alright. Well, anyway, because I picked it last time, I'm going to pick that Temis should carry it. If it's so important, maybe Temis should carry it. It's what the ghosts seem to want too. That gives me the shivers, thank you. Take it, take it. Don't be shy now. Fine, I'll carry it then. Temis picks up the crown from the floor and puts it in his bag. There, it should be safe here. We'll find a place for it in the village. Maybe the rest at the Order will know more about it. Let's ask when we get back. You leave the innermost room. The sand has receded, allowing you a much clearer passage through the ruins. That night, you camp under the cover of the temple, enjoying a peaceful night, but not without the occasional ghostly whispers. The next day, you wake up with the moon in your thoughts, but can't remember much of what you dreamed about. And once you're ready to depart for your next destination, you leave the ruins behind. Yeah, sure. Oh, and that's it. That's the end of the files. Well, cool. Well, that was one Guardian. 2 more to go now. Where did the Guardians come from anyway? What exactly are they? You could say that they're the silent protectors on behalf of the moon. As for how exactly, tell me, are you afraid of the dark? Not really. Okay, fine, you're different. I'm trying my best to give an example here. Alright, let's say I am. Go on. Good. So you see, the night is a great source of fear. If you put together all that fear, it gathers and festers. And when it accumulates too much, it starts affecting the things around it. So, the Guardians and the moon protect you and all from it with their light. Oh, I see. But here comes the prophecy, to warn us that it's them who need help now. After so much time, even they have been affected by the lunacy for some reason. And that's where I come in to save them, right? Exactly. They've done so much for us without us knowing. I hope we can help them back. By the way, how's your right leg holding up? A bit sore still, but resting it did some good. That's good. If you need to take any breaks, do tell. Is something wrong with your leg, Albedo? Just some leftover after effects of an injury years ago. It's been long healed, but my right leg is still a bit weaker than my left. Oh, I see. So that's why you wear only one sock. What happened? This would be a lot more shocking revelation if we had like one shot of the main character up until this. Like, yes, I know we saw one from a CG, but that was optional. Actually, if I remember, the first time I saw this scene, I never saw the lower half of the main character's body. So, really, that... You can't you can't create a mystery and then solve it within one sentence like that. That's just Yeah, definitely have like some kind of CG at the very start of the game when the two leave together, that we can see the lower halves of these characters. Hey, you don't just ask someone about that. It's okay, I don't mind. I've just got a bit of an ugly scar there. I was attacked by a monster some years ago. It was scary, but Timus was there to help me. Wow, already being a hero since so long ago. So valiant. Timus has always been very brave. It was the least I could do. If only I could lend you my wings, but sadly, I do need them myself. It's fine, really. If I need a rest, I'll tell you. Gotcha. We don't need to save our progress now. That was just a random tidbit. Alright, so where are we going next? Oh, you know what? Let's go home. Seeing the village so small in the distance, you feel so far away from home. But it's alright. It's not time to go back yet. Oh. Alright, so I did the lake on the right the second, so in the interest of doing things out of order, I'm going to go here now. Through the path to the west, a town comes to view. Follow this path? Alright, sure. Again, I don't know which guardian I'm going to help out here. But following the path to the west, you arrive at a small town. It's bigger than the village you've always known, and while the faith of the moon is still noticeable, the air feels somewhat different. Part of the pavement shows signs of recent damage, and small pieces of broken wood are scattered along the streets. When you arrive at the market, the hustle and bustle that should have been present feels oddly quiet. Exchanges are done discreetly, so as not to alert the bad omens. How quiet. The market at home is usually more lively than this, isn't it? Yeah, the people here seem afraid. Something must have happened. Poor people. They must be so scared in these dark nights. What should we do? Maybe we can ask someone about it. And so here's the other part, the other risk that you run when it comes to having these backgrounds. You're not really taking into account the contrast between the foreground and the background. So it's very noticeable here, but the protagonist's blonde hair almost blends perfectly into the background here. Now this kind of pixel art is when you don't have any borders around the top of the the outline. There's no outline, not borders. And when you do that, you run a very real risk of having the edges of the pixel art blend right into the background, which is exactly what happened here. So if the background just had a little less saturation, maybe darken them just a little bit, that it stands out like this, because clearly, like, putting an outline on these characters would go against the art style that was going on here. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind. Do we have to? I feel like they already have enough to deal with right now. But these are the people you're here to save, hero. Seeing you will surely give them hope. I don't know. I was thinking that helping them without making a ruckus of me being here would be for the best. But maybe I should say something to them at least. Maybe. Perhaps asking someone would be the most direct way. It doesn't even have to be Timus who does it. That's something you can just do yourself. But there's its perks to investigating too. You suggest to Timus that you should... So, last time, when I did this, I chose to divide the task. I'll ask around, Timus does investigating. I think everyone wins at that point. This time, let's just follow along with Timus's preferences and just investigate. If you prefer to lay low for now, we can just look around instead. Maybe that will give us some hints. Sounds good. There was a lot of broken wood back there, like there had been a fight bad enough to break stuff around. If something attacked the town, we should check the other exits too. Playing the nameless savior, I see. I guess that's alright too. I just don't want to bother them unnecessarily. That's very like you. Is it? I don't know what you mean. Anyway, let's go see what we can find. The three of you continue through the main street until you reach the farms at the other side of the town. It's even quieter here, and it doesn't take long to guess why. Some of the fences are in pieces, and there's a big broken cart toppled over. Although it seems to have been cleaned up a bit, there are signs of fighting all over. And when you approach the cart... Behind the cart lies an abandoned sickle. Bloodstains cover part of the curved blade, and some more are splattered all around it. The sudden discovery makes you stumble backwards. Albedo, are you all right? Yeah, there's something there. Blood. Let me see. Temes looks to where you found the sickle. Suddenly, you hear a voice behind you. Hey, there's no place for youngsters. What are you doing here? Nothing. We're investigating. Nothing to worry about, good sir. This is the chosen hero, come to protect the town. Well, so much for anonymity. Chosen hero? The one that the order says will bring back the moon? Yeah, that very same. What she said. The one and only. That's great and all, but you seem all too young to be playing heroes here. Better go back to town before you get in trouble. I'm serious. We need to know what has happened here. Could you tell us what has befallen the town? Well, beasts from the woods have been running amok at night. As you can see, some have fallen victim trying to play the hero. There are some wounded too. We don't know when they could return, so be good and leave this to us guards. Go back to town, alright? Stubborn Tin Man. What can your spear do that the hero can't? Hey, don't provoke him. I understand the concern, but I won't run from something I must do. As it's my duty, I'll deal with this. So, it makes me wonder, how common are fairies in this world? Because the guard looks at this fairy, knowing full well that this is not something a kid can do. This is clearly not some kid. It's like, oh, you're the hero? Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, at the very least, would the sight of the fairy not, catch the guard off guard? I didn't mean to make it a joke, but yeah, that is a weird thing. That Dot is in plain sight, is talking, and the guard's just like, yeah, just another Tuesday. You better be as strong as those prophecies say, then. If anything can be done about these beasts, it may help to look into the wolf. It has always been the guardian of these woods, and nothing like this has ever happened before under its watch. Perhaps the others are right, and then it has really gone mad, and the beasts won't stop until we are all eaten. Is the wolf the one behind the attacks on the town, then? That's the guardian we came here to face, so this leads us to the same goal anyway. Thank you, good sir. We'll return with good news, you have my word. The guard waves a tired goodbye and leaves to continue his rounds. So I guess the fact that he left us to our own devices means that he does believe us? I'm not sure I buy the transition between not believing us and believing us. Also, we gotta get rid of that name window. The empty name window here. Are you better now? Yeah, don't worry about me. But what about you? That guard didn't seem too eager to trust us. It's alright. Whether people believe in the hero or not changes nothing about what I have to do. Once you return triumphant and they see a tranquil night, they will all understand. At least now we know what happened here and where we have to go. What sort of guardian is the wolf? A lone, dignified beast who only has eyes for the moon. It's strange. That doesn't sound like a creature who would suddenly prepare an attack like this. If it wanted to eat the townspeople, why send other beasts here instead of coming directly, you mean? Yeah, it must be something else. That guard was right, though. The wolf has gone mad. With no moon to howl at night, the lunacy must be eating away at it. If we go now before the night arrives, we might be able to take it by surprise. Let's go to the forest then, before it gets too late. Sure. By the way, just as a reinforcement, especially when it comes to story-based adventures like these. Oh, there's the one sock. Didn't even notice that. Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really notice until like later on in your playthrough. But hey, cool. An hour. So if I were judging this live on stream, my playthrough would end right here. And that is exactly, this right here, this hour count right here, this is exactly why I don't judge on stream. Especially when it comes to text-based adventures, because reading out loud is much slower than reading in your head. So because I didn't judge this on stream, I was actually able to get to the ending. Imagine if I had to judge this game just based on what we've seen so far. Yeah, that wouldn't be giving the game a fair shake now, would it? You start walking, following the tracks on the path. The more you advance, the denser the trees get. Also note the change in window skins. As you become more and more surrounded, it starts to darken until you're not sure if the night has come. There's eyes between the trees, and the cold air permeates the woods. From time to time, you hear the running of frightened forest creatures away from you. But the more you advance, the more it all turns into silence. Once the tracks start blending with the underbrush, Dot takes the lead. Follow me. I can sense the wolf's presence now. It's so quiet here. It's like even the bugs have completely vanished. Like no beast is brave enough to stay here. Under the fairy's guidance, you arrive at a clearing. In normal circumstances, the circle of trees would have framed the moon like a halo on the earth, but there's only a void above. Instead, at the center of the clearing, there's a dense mound of brilliant flowers that look as if they had been born from the moonlight itself. It would be beautiful if it weren't for the chill you feel on your spine as soon as you step into this scene. I have a bad feeling. Yes, something here feels strange. Be careful, hero. We're entering the wolf's domain. And as soon as Dot says these words, an eerie breeze envelops the clearing. There's a presence, something circling you from the trees, something that is getting closer. Themis readies his sword. Guess it was too much to expect it to be sleeping obediently. There. The flash of a white mane dashes towards you three from between the trees. I cannot fucking read today. But Themis sees it coming. He steps in front of you, parrying the wolf's bite with the flat side of the blade. The wolf releases the bite and jumps over you to the middle of the clearing. It struggles to stand, as if in a daze. I don't think slaying the wolf directly will be an option. I'll have to think of something fast. You won't need to hurt it much. You only need to touch the gem on its forehead and take its lunacy. Alright. That looks easier said than done. The wolf howls. A strange, darker glimmer like a flame flickers between its eyes. You could easily imagine the silhouette of this beast gazing at the moon in a peaceful night, but instead, it's quickly running towards the hero in a frenzy. Themis managed to dodge with calculated timing. Fortunately, a beast out of control is easily outsmarted. The wolf strikes back, but the hero parries its bite with his sword again. When he steps back from the clash, the sword's arc leaves a small dark red stain on the side of its mouth. It'll be hard to get closer without hurting it. Even if Themis can keep up with this duel and eventually win, there's definitely a great risk. You feel like you can't just stand there. You need to do something. You decide to do nothing. Again, with the internal monologue, you're like, no, you need to do something. You need to do something. So again, why is there a do nothing option? Okay. Well, again, for the record, for the dev, when I first played this, I picked option 1. Magic shield. This time, however, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to distract the wolf with a magic spell. I don't know what the difference is between covering for Themis with a shield and distracting the wolf with a magic spell. I have no idea how that's going to change the outcome. But hey, let's do it. You start to channel magic into your cane. Anything will do as long as it's flashy enough to get the wolf's attention. I'll try to distract it. Here, look here. Huh? The flame inside the lamp of your staff brightens, and with a swift movement, a beam of light shoots towards the ground near the wolf. The wolf turns to look at you. Good news, your plan succeeded. The bad news, you are now its target. Uh-oh. The wolf darts off after you. You know you're not fast enough to outrun it, but if you can at least create an opening for Themis. You start running along the border of the clearing, just a bit closer, just enough to lead it within Themis's reach. You need to stop the wolf for a moment, even if you have to hurt it a bit. You get ready to shoot another beam of light, just in time to see the wolf's maw open in front of your eyes as you turn around. Themis leaps in front of you at the right moment, stopping its fangs from reaching you, at the cost of a bite. Themis' sword falls to the ground as his grip loosens. Red droplets fall on it, staining the blade with the bloodstains of its own wielder. But Themis sees an opportunity. He quickly stretches his other arm towards the wolf's forehead and touches the gemstone. The dark glimmer erupts from the gemstone like a dark mist and quickly envelops Themis' body. Yeah, just FYI, you don't really want to use the same description twice within the same sentence. The dark glimmer erupts from the gemstone like a dark mist. Probably want to pick a different word for one of those. And then it fades. Themis steps back from the wolf, but it seems the attack has ended. The wolf slowly collapsed into the mound of flowers, with eyes finally clear of madness. But suddenly, once again, when the dark glow vanishes, Themis falls on his knees. This time, the pain seems stronger than before. Themis, is it the lunacy again? Yeah, it's the same feeling, like my head is splitting. Don't worry, it'll go away in a moment. It's a temporary pain. Is there anything I can do? Healing? Maybe that will work. Let's just rest for a moment. I'll be fine. Well, you should probably heal anyway, because, Themis got a bite. But I guess we couldn't account for that possibility, huh? Now, we're just gonna sit down right where we are, with Themis's bite wound just still freely bleeding, I guess. You notice the wolf, now resting as if the battle had never happened at all. It looks at you with thankful eyes, as if saying that you can stay in its domain as long as you need. It's just like a very big dog now. The townspeople will be glad to know the wolf is back to normal. Now the other beasts won't have to run away in fear anymore. What about that gemstone? Was that another fragment of the moon? That's correct. It was tainted by the lunacy, but not anymore. With the moon present and its mind clear of lunacy, it would have been a much bigger threat. It would have been a much bigger threat. You did a great job, hero. Well, I was quite literally born to do this. It's no big deal. After resting for a little bit, you decide it's time to return. I guess, in this case, time heals all wounds was a literal interpretation. The wolf, exhausted, curls up in the middle of the mound of flowers, peaceful and gentle like the moon itself. We know this is not what you wanted to do, so wait here and rest. The hero will bring back the moon for you too. Together, you make your way back to the town. From between the trees, you still feel the eyes of fearful beasts looking at you with respect and curiosity, but none of them have the will to attack anymore. You leave the forest, feeling that at last, all will be at peace here. Sure. When you finally arrive at the town, the night has come. You notice various silhouettes holding torches on one hand and arms on the other, waiting at the entrance. Uh-oh. Seems like someone will be disappointed. If they expected beasts today, they're going to get a surprise. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? We do bring them a good surprise. It's probably pointless to ask, but I don't suppose we might be able to just leave. Come on, hero. You get a free claim to fame and this is how you deal with it? It'll be fine. I'm sure they'll all be glad. Yeah, I guess. Let's go. Even if Themis tries to run away, the townspeople have already noticed you anyway. A town guard starts walking towards you. You. Aren't you the youngsters who are running around town today? You came from the forest. Rejoice! This is the hero that has saved the wolf. You won't need to fear anymore. The beasts of the forest are back to their home in peace. The beasts of the forest are back to their home in peace. Singular. Okay. And won't hurt you anymore. You hear the murmurs of the people. Could it be? Is it truly as they say? But Themis' silver eyes would never lie. It's the hero. The hero has dealt with the wolf. So it was the eyes that gave it away, huh? Again, these are the only 3 characters that we ever see portraits of. So it could, like, Themis' silver eyes were brought up on occasion, but I don't really know how rare that is. But if it was that rare, then the guard that we saw earlier should have instantly recognized, like, oh, that's the eyes of a hero. If the fairy wasn't enough of a giveaway. So now we're seeing the entire town just like see 2 children come in and be like, yo, everything's done. And they all just believe them. It's a little hard for me to believe, but maybe I'm just being cynical. The townspeople raise their torches in a cheer. Quickly, they gather around you and guide you back to town. Hearing the commotion, many other villagers rise up to join the sudden celebration. Allow us to thank you, hero. We'll give you as much as we can for your journey, whether it's gear, supplies, or riches, anything at all. The elder bows in profuse reverence. Many merchants in the crowd approach to offer some of their wares, and some people even drop a few of their coins. Soon, in front of you, is a box filled to the brim with rewards. Oh, there's even raisin cookies. I don't know if I can accept so much. The town has gone through some rough days. It wouldn't be fair. Nonsense. You saved our home. Though the lives we have lost will not return, what we offer you, we can recover. Feeling pressured, Themis looks more and more unsure. He turns to you and Dot. How are we even going to carry all of this? With your arms? On your backs? I can think of some other ways if you're willing to do a handstand. Sure, I'll do a handstand all the way to the mountain. Really now? I really want to see you do that now. Or you can eat the food and carry it in your stomach. That also works. Themis has a point, but there can always be solutions to that. Thinking about this dilemma, you decide to... Again, I'm making choices that I didn't make my first time, so we're taking it all. Why not accept it anyway? If they're being so generous, it's because they're grateful to you. If we can't carry it all now, we can always come back when the mission is done, can't we? I guess that's a good point. See? Accepting their thanks is the best way to thank them back. A dangerous journey needs as much help as possible. Dot, you just want those raisins. Of course. And? You like raisins? You don't? More for me then. Alright, we'll take the box. The raisins for Dot and the rest for us. Hey, only the raisins? Give me at least some more snacks. Thank you, O chosen hero. I'll remember today for the rest of my days. May my strongest potions and salves serve you well. Feel free to stay at my inn, free of charge for today. Watching Themis being the center of attention, you feel as if he's finally getting the recognition he's been working so hard for since his birth. Even if you're just a companion on the sidelines, it feels right. You're content with that. What was with that? What was that little ellipses right there? Pretty VN. Hey Looney, welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, that's one of the draws of this game. It's just a visual style. The party continues a little bit later into the night, though you decide to retire a little bit before it ends. Your bones are sore, and not even the singing and the cheers will keep you from having the biggest sleep. Accepting the offer to stay in the village, you sleep on the most comfortable beds of the inn for the rest of the night. The next morning, you wake up ow, that hurt. All right, yeah, I get it. Yeah, don't watch these don't play these games in a dark room because boy, that's going to hurt your eyes. The next morning you wake up well rested and depart without delay after breakfast. Sure, save a progress. After all, we deserve that reward, right? Of course we did. Only one more guardian to go now. How are you holding up? It's fine, I can handle it. This is nothing. Hang in there, hero. We're almost there. Themis quietly nods, but something definitely doesn't look okay. Are you sure? Is anything worrying you? Does your head hurt again? No. It's just, I don't know. I keep being called the hero, but have I even done anything to deserve it? Well, you've dealt with 2 guardians, and you're working hard to save the moon, aren't you? You've always worked very hard. But I haven't saved anything yet. This is blatantly false. I get self-doubt doesn't really hold up. Like self-doubt doesn't hold up in the face of facts, but this is just provably wrong. Or maybe not, depending on which routes you take. It could be that the village, you didn't go to the village by the time you get this scene. That's the risk for these non-linear games. But through this route through the story that we're taking, that is provably wrong. People have called me hero even when the moon was there, ever since I can remember. But what have I even done to be recognized that way? If they had banded together, maybe the townspeople could have dealt with the wolf themselves. Yeah, but they didn't, and you did. Any talented adventurer who wanted to explore those ruins could have solved the hourglass. So why? Why me of all people? Well, they couldn't take the lunacy. That's simple. You were chosen by the moon. That's all. But why chose me? What makes me? Why choose me? What makes me any different from anyone else? Hey, Fake Coffee, welcome back. Just completed Chapter 2 of Corpse Party. Well, this is going to be quite the tonal shift then, huh? Yeah, glad you're back though. Don't ask me. Ask the moon. Maybe she just liked your silver eyes the most. I just don't understand at all. Themis. Themis's legs suddenly fail him for a moment. You quickly try to support him. This is Countryside Party. With a little less murder. Admittedly, we did see a little murder on our way here, but no, it's definitely not the gore fest that Corpse Party is. Thank you, Albedo. Sometimes it feels like you're the only one who calls me by name. Don't worry, maybe I'm just not feeling too well from the lunacy's effects. You're not sure about how to cheer Themis up. It should be a good thing to be respected, trusted, and loved. You've always seen it as something he deserves. You've seen him work for it all his life. But if it's too much of a burden on his shoulders... I thought I was ready, but it just feels a bit heavy sometimes. Well, it's not something that you chose for yourself. Maybe there's another option. What if we just left? If you could, would you just leave it behind? Huh? What do you mean? If being the hero is hurting you, why force yourself to do it? We can just run, go somewhere else. There's only one guardian left. Someone else may be able to deal with it, right? You can't mean to take the hero away, can you? Themis is clearly unwell. I want the moon to be saved as much as anyone else, but this is hurting him. No, you can't do that. Or do you think the hero isn't strong enough? Don't you believe in him? I do think he is, but he shouldn't have to. Bearing this weight for everyone else's sake? No one should. Do you really think there even exists a place for me that is not being the hero? I don't remember this scene playing out when I first played this game. So alright, we're seeing some differences in our choices now. There is. We can search for it, and if we can't find it, we'll just make it. You're giving the hero false hopes, Albedo. Who will save the moon then? No. From now on, I'm not that. Whoa! Okay, that was just chosen for me. Alright, cool. Themis, let's go. The world is so much bigger than what we've always known. We'll find places for us. How will you find a place in a world you've left to doom? The moon will never again shine for you. Then find someone else who wants to finish the job at your price. Fair what? Are you serious? Wait, okay. Huh. Yeah, fuck off, I guess. Themis and you leave the ferry behind and depart on a new adventure. You don't look back. You are both free now. Fine, I'll find someone else then. I'll do you a kindness, hero. For all the effort you've done, I'll let you go. Your lunacy is a lost cause at this point, but better a human than the Guardians, I suppose. But if you refuse to do it, another hero will have to take your place, and whether they're willing or not, that doesn't matter much in this situation, does it? The prophecy will be filled. A hero will save the moon. The morning has arrived. In the village of the Order, a hero prepares to leave on a journey to save the moon. Yesterday, he was just a normal boy like any other, but today, he has become the chosen one. Accompanied by a small fairy pale like the clearest moonbeam, he'll be guided to finish a mission he'll never know someone else started. Somewhere else, two friends walk hand in hand. One walks ahead, lamp lighting their way. The other's steps become heavier with every passing moment. They drift aimlessly, searching for a place to be. I want to point out, right here, I'm looking at this scene. I don't think it's a coincidence that there's a little trace of... I don't think this is shading that we see at the edge of this hero here. Because nothing else in this scene is shaded. The MC isn't shaded. There's not even shine on the lamp. It's just like one brighter color. But even when the moonless night comes to swallow them up, they will be all right. Nothing will keep them bound ever again. Ending 3, The Call of Adventure. Well now, that was a surprise. Huh. Even more surprising by the fact that I had no choice in that matter. Huh. Well, if this makes it past round 1, I will definitely take this into consideration, but as it is right now, I can't. I've already spent my hour on this game, so at this point I'm just highlighting it, just to show off something else. Show off to this, to you guys. I kind of wonder, maybe when it comes to these kinds of choice-based events, maybe I should just make the exact same choices that I made my first time. Just because I know the outcome. But wow, this was a shock. Ending 3, I was wondering where that was. Okay, so for the record, Dev, when I played this, I got endings 4, 5, and 6. So I have no idea what endings 1 and 2 are. But, yeah. I bet you endings 1 and 2 would be more of a direct result of being more selfish. Because clearly, I made one choice. I mean, one choice I said, yeah, the hero can just fuck off. Like, let him do what he wants to do. Let him do it alone. And then I made a different choice that was helping out the hero, rather than just leaving the hero alone. But all right. Well, that was, what is it? Moonlight Blessed. So hang on, I'm going to go ahead and I should have done this at the start. I apologize, but it's not too late. Let's just go ahead and grab this. So now you guys can go check this out for yourself. And I guess if you're on YouTube, just go look it up on the itch page. But yeah, that is ending 3. You've seen one of 6 endings. Yeah, no, not going to save my progress. All right, well, I think all my points still stand, but the fact that I know that now things can take a drastic turn, I kind of believe the dev now when they said that, yeah, these choices affect your different endings. For the record, the endings that I chose, I made it all the way to the very end of the journey. It wasn't cut off early like this. That being said, I never really was a fan of incomplete endings, especially when it's handled like this. When I myself have not been given like final confirmation on this. Like I didn't choose to abandon this. Like if the game presented the choice to me, then that would be one thing, but it didn't. But I've never really liked the idea of cutoff endings. Mostly because that they're not really satisfying conclusions to the story. Because there's still so many different beats that we had to go through. But we didn't. And I feel like endings to games should, for the most part, resolve the story. And I get that that's in theme for an ending like this, where you're just like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. And then you just leave. But it's not really satisfying. Which, maybe being unsatisfying, you may say like, okay, maybe it's fine to be unsatisfied at this ending. To that, I would say I would agree with you if I was given the choice to dip out. But as I was not, the character suddenly just made that decision for me. When I've been making decisions for the main character this entire time, suddenly now we're like, nah, we're out. And the choices that would lead to this ending don't really make a lot of sense either to me at first thought when I'm thinking about it, because the first choice I made, I left the main character. I left the hero to go do his own things. Like, no, this is your fight. And then second, I was going to help the hero. That doesn't really seem like the type of behavior that would lead to the main character convincing the hero to just dip out. But again, a lot of that could be, I get that it's a jam. Not everything was like perfectly thought through. I get that. But I feel like the choice to have the main character dip out would probably solve a lot of things. And the choices I would make up to that point would just give me the option to leave. But for the choice to be taken away from me runs contrary to the themes that this game has been presenting me so far. I don't think it's a problem that we dip out early. I don't. I don't think it's a problem that... I think the ending itself is just fine. I just think it would have been a lot better if we had the choice. And no, I will not go back and complete the game for you guys, because I want you all to go play this for yourself. There are 6 endings that I've gotten. Sorry, I haven't gotten them. There are 6 endings for this game. So I would imagine you guys would have a different experience if you were to play this game yourself. I hope you do. But that's going to be it for this one. For this game. Alright, so what is next? Which one are we going to do next? Wait. You know what? What do you say we do the other visual novel that I had on my list? Pretty nice game for a game jam. I don't think we need the game jam qualifier there. I think it was just a nice game. It had some bumps, yeah, but what game doesn't? But yeah, I just think it was nice. I think it's even more impressive by the fact that it was made in 30 days. That speaks a lot about how quickly the dev can put together these kinds of assets. But yeah, good job on this. Good luck on the contest. I hope it does well. But yeah. All right, this next one's going to be a really short one. Because, unfortunately, it's not a complete game. But we played a different... it's also a visual novel, sort of like the one that we were playing just now. Yeah. Well, I think doing a visual novel with time constraint is pretty bold, yet they pulled it off, so props to the dev. I don't know about that. Considering the lack of... okay, so I think the dev did great, but it is text. There's a lot of story. And so if you're decent enough at writing, I think you can pull it off. I think for me personally, the most impressive thing was all the CGs that were part of this experience. All the different routes. Well, I mean, different variations of the routes, because it's not like you went off in a totally different direction from the choice that you made at the very beginning. But yeah, I think, I don't know, I've played more than one visual novel so far in this jam. I mean, we're about to play another one here, but I think it's more often than you think. I think the art assets for these is really impressive. The fact that you would make so many different variations of the art assets. Anyway, I hope the dev updates this game, because I do think I'm not a big fan of the pictures. I think the pictures bit crushed they detract from the experience. I like the idea that they were going for, but there was just too much noise going on in the background. So either they had to clean it up, or reduce the saturation, reduce the brightness in such a way that the front doesn't pop, that it still pops out, like the character sprites still pop out. Because even when they were in the back, like even when they were grayed out, when they weren't talking, the character sprites would sometimes blend into the background. You're right. Visual novels are very efficient in the scope sense. Yeah, I agree. I think the impressive part is where the visual aspects of the visual novel. So that I think is amazing. But yeah, in terms of actual development, yeah, it's just a bunch of text boxes. Like that's easy enough to do. In terms of development, I'm not saying making a decent visual novel was easy, but I'm saying in terms of the actual development process, yeah, it's just a bunch of show texts. You don't have to worry about gameplay balance. You don't have to worry about teaching players how to play your game. It's like, no, it's just how do you play it? You press space to advance the text. That's it. So no, I think visual novels are very easy to do for game jams. The difficulty lies in what you do beyond the text. Okay, so here's another one that also does something very different. I just suck at multi-branching stuff, so for me it's quite hard and bold. Okay, that's fine. Not a problem, but I'm sure you have your own strengths, Kokodayo, so don't say that you suck at things. Just congratulate them for doing something different and just focus on what makes your stuff special. So, here's the next game that we're going to play. Monarch Vertigo. This one's going to be really short, so pay attention. So, much like Moonlight Blessed. In fact, let me just go ahead and get this one out of the way. Where are you? There you are. Ah, shit. Didn't want to do that. There we go. So there you go. You guys want to check that out. Monarch Vertigo. Game options. Okay, Dev, check this out. I'm just going to make it... I'm going to go ahead and spoil this. Take out the commands that you don't need. You don't need always dash, and you don't need command remember, because this is not an RPG. True wise words. See? I can be encouraging.
You hear that, Benny? You hear that, Benny? I can be encouraging.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow your ears out. Yeah, Benny keeps saying, Nova's such a harsh critic. He's so harsh. And I'm like, no, I'm super positive. And I'll slap anyone who tries to say otherwise. I'll make fun of you if you try to tell me I'm not positive. Yeah. Alright, so Monarch Vertigo. Let's start. And you will understand for a second why, the moment I press new game, you will understand why this game stuck out to me. Rip eardrums, sorry about that. Yeah, didn't expect any of this, huh? Quite the intro. Whoever the cameraman here really needs to learn how to defend themselves, because they just keep getting blotted out for like 3 different people now. Like, all right, I think at this point I was thinking to myself, all right, we get it. Move on, please. Well, that hurt my eyes. Monarch Vertigo. So, what is the point of like eye-catching intros? Well, is it to establish intrigue? Or is it to kind of push you, or it's like push its tech in your face? So granted, I have not seen a full motion video as an intro for an RPG Maker game. Didn't know we could submit full-length films. Yeah, that would be quite beyond expectations, wouldn't it? We were expecting you to make a game and you just made a film. But yeah, that's interesting. Interesting choice of intros. But I remember, okay, one thing, devs, please trim down that intro. The whole point of the eye-catching intro is to start getting me to question things, question what's going to happen in the rest of your game. About the halfway point, I started questioning if this entire game was going to be this movie. Because remember, I can't take into account game page information, so I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no clue until, I got to this text box. I was like, oh, there's actually going to be a game here. And these kinds of establishing shots, like, the guy with the black mask over his face, getting camera blotted out several times, is like, okay, that could be something, mystery inducing or eye catching. So I want you guys to pay attention and then see how many scenes like that, or even remotely close to that, you will see as we go along this game. Nova, Ozzy, what? What do you want from me, Ozzy? Welcome to Monarch Vertigo. In this interactive thriller, you take the role as Nolan Reeves. You take the role of Nolan Reeves. You as Nolan have to make choices that can affect the path Nolan will follow. They can be both detrimental and immutable, so choose your action wisely. I say Pavlov's Nova not to say you didn't post an announcement. I did it as a joke to how I Pavlov dogged you. Yeah, well, you didn't Pavlov dog me that time, right? Because I already made the announcement. So you come in and be like Pavlov's Nova, and be like, oh, okay, well, that makes me think like, oh, Ozzy's here. That must mean I forgot to make an announcement. And sure enough, I did. Also, that was the longest 10 minutes of your life, Ozzy. You could have come back way earlier than that. To interact with dialogue, either use your left mouse button or press the Z button on your keyboard. Don't forget to read carefully and enjoy the story. I was in class? Well, then get more classes. Okay, establishing shots. Here we go. Driving home. Why does the office have to be so far away? 30 minutes to the office and another 30 to return home. When I'm able to take off work early, the traffic always seems to be a stop. The traffic always seems to be a stop. I never really leave work early though, since it's always around 11 p.m. when I get off work. Anytime I'm able to get off early, it's always 10 p.m. or so. My old job commute was so much better. This feels French to me. What? What? Where did that come from? Why French? That's such a strange, like out of nowhere comparison. Yeah. Artsy. What? So only French people can be artsy? Nobody else can? Anyway, my old job commute was so much better. So again, because this is... yes, you say with no hesitation. Well, fine. I guess the rest of us don't really know what we're doing then. Sorry, guys, you can't be artsy if you're not French. So my old job commute was so much better. So again, I'm just going to point this out. I didn't point this out in the last visual novel that we did because for the most part, you got it right. This time, my old job commute was so much better. This is information without the filter. I've said this before, but for the purposes of this string, I'll say it again. Character dialogue is information filtered through the lens of a character. The way that this is written, this is just information. There's no filter, there's no lens of the main character here. And the last couple of top dialogue boxes were exactly the same way. There's just information. Oh, I want to go home I usually go home at 11 o'clock. If I go home early, it will be at 10 o'clock. Also, if I look at a clock, the clock has hands, and one of those hands is an hour. And after 60 seconds passes, the minute hand ticks by. Like this, that's just information. You're not hearing it through the main character the filter of the characters. But ever since I've moved here, I've been driving every day of the week, all gas and no brakes. I had to get used to driving so late. Sometimes there are drunks out or reckless drivers with their loud engines. I'm not sure why loud engines has anything to do with you driving late. You could call it a skill to be aware during midnight driving. No, that's just called being... It's not called being a skill, it's called being normal. Like, you have to be aware no matter what when you're driving. Yes, I've driven at midnight plenty of times. You just gotta deal with it. Though recently driving at night has made me nervous. I'm usually not so worried about driving home so late in the past, but what's probably making me nervous is what everyone at work is talking about. I don't watch the news much, but at work I keep hearing everyone talk about these murders that have been happening around town. Who knows if all the rumors are true? Sorry, that wasn't even a question, it was a period. Who knows if all the rumors are true? Sounds like a bad thriller. Like a bad thriller. First off, don't say lines like these when you're going to then move on and do the exact same thing. Because that's like tacky. It's tacky. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Wow, I think RPGs with grinding are really stupid. And then if that line was in a dialogue, was in an RPG that had a lot of grinding, that's not clever. It's not funny. It's just like, okay, well then be better. I get that this is supposed to be ironic. Be like, oh wow, these murders are like, there's a serial murder going around. Who knows if all the rumors are true? Pff, wow, that's a bad thriller. It turns out to actually happen. But come on, this is your story. Don't knock your own story in the intro dialogue when we're still trying to get immersed into the world. This is not the time to do this. If my parents haven't contacted me to ask about it, then I'm sure it's all just rumors. An odd piece of information. Because everyone knows that parents are always the source of reliable information, and never, ever listen to rumors. Apparently, apparently Nolan's mom was never part of a Facebook group. Still, I keep an eye out for people. I've always been cautious like that. Something about the case reports just sounds so fake to me. People being followed home by what sounds like some weird fictional sounding. People being followed home by what sounds like some weird fictional sounding just sounds so fake. How many times was sound used in that sentence? Assuming that's the part that we can even read, because who knows what was cut off at the edge of that dialogue box here. Still, it gives me the chills to the point. I still look in my rear view time to time. You should be doing that anyway, because that's just being aware. I thought you said that it's a skill to be aware. When I moved here, I thought it would be nice to have a long drive home to think about things. I was dumb to think that. Still got about 20 minutes till I get home. Why don't I just put on the radio? Yeah, see, most of this whole scene would have been much better done if the main character just had a back and forth with the radio. Like, if the radio was actually conveying some of this information and then the main character could give his thoughts on it, rather than just try to force everything down the player's throats at once. Because right now, the only thing we know about the world is through the lens of the main character. What lens there is. We actually haven't seen the world yet. Until like right now. Tomorrow's forecast is looking sunny and ever so bright with about a 60% chance of precipitation. Okay. For the rest of the week, however, there will be blue skies and no clouds in sight. That was our weather report. We will be back after a short ad break. Well, so much for the news, huh? Have you ever complained about not being able to see in the pitch dark night? Well, you should try Super Night Gut. After the weather report, the radio station starts playing ads, which makes me want to turn it off until... Hello, we are sorry to have interrupted your program, but we wanted to give out one more quick announcement. With the constant murders on the loose, remember to stay wary of your surroundings. Suspect Adrian Romero was caught and detained for suspicion of the Monarch case. Officials are suspecting that he is the one who has been committing the murders around town. Oh, so then there's nothing to worry about if you caught the guy. Authorities are currently looking into the suspect, and an answer is expected to come out soon to reveal if he committed the crimes or not. To stay informed, please keep up with... Clicking noise turned off radio. So it was real. I'm guessing the killer's been caught? What do you mean, so it was real? People have died. Is it real or was it not? just for a moment, I check my rear view mirror. Huh? There usually aren't people out this late. Is that a person? I don't fucking know. Because it's got a similar problem as the previous game, which the backgrounds are so pixelated and noisy that it can be kind of hard to make out what's what. But it's even more important in a game like this, because now you've shown me a super zoomed in picture and I'm supposed to know what this is? There's no way there's someone behind me. It's so late at night. What does this guy even do for a living? That's what I want to know. He keeps referring to work, but I don't have any idea what this guy even does. The Poe? I don't think, I mean, if it was the Poe, then there would be a different kind of light flashing, right? I tend to overthink, but it feels different this time. I try to look at the person driving, but I can't see them. It's as if their gauge lights are not even on. Oh, I'm sorry, their gauge lights. Not to mention their headlights are so bright. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you get tailed by somebody who just has their brights on the whole time. Depending on the angle of where they are, yeah, it can reflect in all of your mirrors and just blind you. It sucks. I know that feeling. Why would someone be following me anyway? You don't know that. Based on the picture, you're on the highway. A lot of people are going down the same way you are. I've got nothing to worry about. I keep heading that way. I keep heading the way I usually go, and this car is still behind me. A T intersection. Does this look like a T intersection to you? Because it looks like just more headlights. That car is still behind me. I think I'm being followed. Should I go straight or right? It takes me to the same place if I take the right direction after it. So again, I'm doing the same thing as I did with Moonlight Blessed. I'm picking different options that I picked my first time through. I'm going straight. You know what? Straight is faster, so let's go this way. The car goes the opposite way. Okay, interesting, because when I played this, I picked right and the car went the other way. Also, what do you mean opposite way? If for it to be the opposite way, the car would have had to make a U-turn and then go back. I drive the rest of the way home. Once I get home, I get inside, put my things down, and walk over to the kitchen. So, that was interesting. Now we established that there's somebody following me despite the fact that the killer had already been found. Maybe that wasn't the killer that was found. Tutorial. This is an investigation mode. Wait, I'm sorry, that was one sentence. This is an investigation mode. In this mode, use either the arrow keys or the mouse left click to move the cursor. To interact with items in the image, press Z or use left click with the mouse. Saving is also available through this mode. To open the menu, press the X key. There are other things in this menu, but currently the save function is the only thing that works. Don't fucking tell me that. Dev. How about you just take out the other functions if they don't work? Like, it's very simple. You go into the RPG Maker menu, you find all the options where all the other commands are being added, you just comment them out. In these scenarios, help Nolan figure out what to do. Objects in the image might help you progress in the story. End of tutorial. Okay, well, tutorial is over, so how about we go and just kind of figure out what's going on. It's 11:38 p.m. I'm always so damn late after work. Why do I have to live so far? You know the answer to this. You chose the workplace. Why are you asking this question? This is the part where you're supposed to kind of understand more about Nolan's situation. Don't ask questions like this as if players expect to know the answer. This toaster. I love how it burns my toast. Okay. That's my microwave. Lovely dialogue. I hope it isn't empty. It's too late to go to the store. Spin Mart is open 24/7 though. Okay. I need to watch this thing. It's kind of nasty. Yeah. Guess I should start cooking dinner. What should I make? As far as I can tell, because this game is short enough, I was able to do one more playthrough of this. I tried 2 different options. None of them made any real difference, so I don't even know why you even give us the option. But hey, I'll pick the one I haven't picked in my other 2 playthroughs. Fried rice. Let's start cooking. Done. Cool. You know, you had an opportunity to kind of show us like how this person would cook the fried rice, because, you know, I'm pretty sure there's multiple ways of cooking fried rice. How did he learn to cook? Is there anyone important that taught him how to cook? Are we going to learn anything about that? Nope. Just done. Let me go sit at the table. Well, you can fry it. And what else would you put with fried rice? You know? You can put in vegetables, you can put in some kind of side dish, but nope. Guess I was hungry. Guess I was hungry with no period. Well, this late? Why is someone here? Again, punctuation, please. My mom taught me how to... What does that have to do with anything? I thought they'd go away. What is up with today? Why are they so persistent? Oh no, look at that. It's tense. Look inside the peephole? Sure. Who is that? I can barely tell who that is. Was I actually being followed? Okay, I've been making jokes up till now, but legit, at this point, I was actually starting to tense up. I was like, wait, what's actually happening? I seriously need to get that hinge checked. It's the backrooms monster? Maybe. I should probably see if someone's out there. The door's locked. I should probably unlock the top lock first. Well, alrighty then. Turn the lock. Should I really open the door? Seems like a bad idea. I know, right? No. I gotta open it eventually. No, you don't. You literally don't. You literally don't. I should probably see if someone's out there. Well, fine. Hey, man. Dude, you scared the shit out of me. What are you doing here? Oh man, just stopping by. Thought I'd ask if you wanted to hang out since I'm in your hood. Mark Hawkins, the goofball of the office. He always does the unexplainable. He would come by when it's pouring outside. He has no concept. He has no concept of what? I'm sorry, what? Hang out tonight? Yeah, man, I'm thinking about getting some drinks. You want to tag along? Let me ring on the doorbell for 10 minutes? Yeah, that exactly. Classic Mike, I guess. He gives me this look that if I were to describe it, it would be the one of an idiot who wants to go drinking at midnight. Excellent description there. The guy coming up asking you if you want to go hang out, get some drinks, has the look of a guy who wants to go out drinking at midnight. Wonderful description there. I'm going to have to fortunately decline. No, not tonight. Sorry, got work tomorrow. Yeah, but come on, it'll be fun. Also, what kind of excuse was that, Nolan? I've got work tomorrow. Doesn't Mike work in the same office as you? You called him the office clown or whatever it was. So clearly he knows he's got work as well. Mark, no, sorry, I can't. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to leave you be. What are you up to anyways? Man, does this guy ever stop talking? I'm just eating dinner. Oh, that makes sense. We left the office around the same time. Was Mark the one following me? I guess that would make sense since we both left and now he's at my doorstep. Yeah. Well, I left temporarily from the previous V and came back to this. Almost thought it was the same game but with a huge tonal shift. Well, thank you for promoting me back to first monitor. You know, I appreciate that. But nope, different game. Could you imagine? That, I mean, that would definitely fit beyond expectations. Just start off with like a real legit like lunar fantasy story, and then you just make it shift to this. But no, that's not what's going on. Well, Mark, I'll see you tomorrow at work. Have a nice night. Okay, see you, Nolan. I waved him off and closed the door. Jesus, he really scared the shit out of me. And that's the last time we're going to see Mark for the rest of this game. Which, yeah. Kind of crappy. You can't, like, again, for those that are just joining us, this game is not complete. This is just a demo. So, obviously, stuff is going to be set up that won't ever get explored. But as a judge, that's not really my problem. When you're going to give me a story and I have to judge it, I'm going to judge what's here, not what the game is trying to be. Please don't feed his ego more. What are you talking about? I'm always the most humble person to have ever existed, no matter what. In fact, I'm so humble, I'm going to delay those ads for you. Just because. Nova will always be first monitor material for me. Thank you, Looney. See, I need that ego boost every now and then. I can't tell what, like, yeah, I can't tell with you guys sometimes. It's like, hey, on one hand, oh, let's give Nova some praise. And on the other hand, you set your apartment on fire. We're going to make fun of you for that. Yeah. Jesus, he really scared the shit out of me. Oh my God, what now? What do you mean, what now? What happened? Oh, there we go. I was a little delayed there. Why so late? Hello? I wasn't going to bring the salmon back up, but listen. Sometimes these things happen, you know? Doesn't it happen to anybody? You know, you wake up in the morning, you know, you do something right, you go to work, you do things, you know, you get praised at work, you go home, you nearly burn your house down. Is that not the typical story of the average human being? Chester Bennington. What? Is that what you're saying this guy is? Yo, how you doing, Nova? Hey, Kosher, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. We're just taking a look at another game that stuck out to me for different reasons. Hey, Nolan, I need you to come into work early tomorrow. Can you do that for me? Sure. What do you need? I'll explain to you in the morning. Just get here at around 5. Okay. Thanks, Nolan. See you then. Beep. Great. Now I can only get 5 hours of sleep and I haven't even finished eating dinner. 5? Yeah. So this guy is basically like me when I'm judging. I don't have much time to sleep for much. I don't get much sleep anyway. So much sleep that I can't even words right. Whatever. I've lost my appetite anyway. No, you didn't, because you just sat right back down at the dinner table and I could hear the silverware against the plate. So no, you didn't. You liar. Why did Mark come here so late? I don't know. Why did the office clown come here do something out of pocket? I don't know. Also, he literally explained to you why he came so late, because he was about to go out drinking and he asked you to come along. What was he thinking? I guess that's just how Mark is. Again, you introduced him as the office goofball, or whatever it was. It was like, you don't need to be asking these questions. Not the first time he's done something like that, but even more of a reason not to ask those questions. He's a nice guy, but he's always doing something weird. Oh, man. Well, it's already 12. I should get ready for bed. And here's one of the other reasons why I wanted to bring this up. So much like the last one, this game also uses real pictures. But the big difference between this one and the other one is that this one you have to actually click around and examine things. I usually don't use this mirror. Which makes it even more important that you see what's going on here in the world. But you can't do that here. Whether it's because you're using grayscale or because you put so much noise on here, the fact of the matter is, it's very difficult to parse what's around here. In fact, and I'm bringing this up because the game knows this. because I click this right here, I can barely tell what that is. Then fix the fucking map! It's a nice in-joke, but I don't have patience for in-jokes. This is a game that you're supposed to be investigating things. You cannot... It's just a fan. Yeah. I can't tell it's just a fan. But you can't do that. Not if you don't want to piss people off. Hey, Last Yuri Samurai. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. How you doing? Welcome in. It's so dark. I should probably turn on the light. Go to the bathroom and get ready for bed. I walk to the bathroom and flip on the light. Cool. Never has cleaning up before bed been so thrilling. Usually holds a towel, but the towel is in the dryer. Okay. Nothing else there. Nothing else there. What's this? Pretty sure this is used to hold alcohol. What do you mean pretty sure? This is your house. You should know what's going on in your house. Wouldn't know because I don't usually drink. That is commendable. That you're dealing with this kind of shit job and you don't even drink. Okay, time to brush my teeth. Alright, all done. Remember when this was a game about murder investigation? And that's one problem that I had, and that's what I put in my notes here. Like, we're spending more time dealing with this dude's daily routine than we are understanding and learning more about the mystery and the world. Was this really necessary? Okay, you took a picture of your bathroom. Well done. But you can cut that whole thing out. You can cut pretty much this entire scene out. One of the most important aspects of storytelling is getting to the damn point. And I'm not swearing just to be edgy. That's literally the phrase that, as it was taught to me, get to the damn point. Always get to the most interesting part of your story. If you're not at the most interesting part of your story, then you need to make a beeline to the most interesting part of your story. We just spent more time deciding what this guy wants to cook for the night. We met Mark, an admittedly pretty decent scene of tension building, only to break it just by having some clown show up. And to have the main character infer that that was the one following home at night. But now we just come up here, we go brush our teeth. It's like, how is this interesting? This is not interesting at all. Not even remotely. And I still don't appreciate this. Time for bed? Yes. We didn't have to make any of that playable. This could have worked if we had more commentary from Nolan about his lifestyle. Now, the only thing I can think of right now would just be examining that one bottle in the bathroom where it was like, oh, okay, this holds alcohol? Wouldn't know because I don't drink. And then the natural question becomes, then why do you have it in your bathroom? Again, this is his apartment. This is not somebody else's apartment that he's just crashing in. So he made the choice to put that there. So why? And instead, we have such illuminating observations like, it's my microwave, or I should clean the rag, it's getting dirty. And even if we wanted to decide what to cook, all it is just ... Okay, it's cooked. And we're just like, okay, well, there's all the missed opportunities to have more characterization here. So you have to lean back and ask, what was the point of anything that we've just been through so far? Because so far, I'm not seeing it. And if I weren't a judge for this contest, I would have stopped right around here. Because I'm just like, okay, this is just some random commentary. It's not even that interesting. The commentary itself is not interesting. But hey, let's go to bed. And that was quite the time skip. I'm kind of surprised we didn't walk through his morning routine. For all I know, this could be a dream. The screen fade out, and then bam, here we are. Ah, Nolan. Mr. Bossman. I wish I could get to work that fast. Well, I mean, you remember what he said, right? It takes 30 minutes of commute to get to work. And then 30 minutes back. Mr. Bossman. Hey, sorry to have you come in early. We need to print some estimates for our up-and-coming business deals. What business deals? What is our job? That has also not been established. Could you give me like 3 papers of them? The files should... 3 papers of them, huh? The files should be on my computer. Drugs. I guess so. You know how to access, right? Just access them through the printer. Should be the first documents to pop up. Sure thing. Hey Nolan, we appreciate what you do here. I would too if I knew what the hell he even did. And that's all. Wait, that's why he wanted us to come in early? He wanted us to come in at 5 o'clock in the morning just to print some things for him? His ass is in the office. He can take his ass over to the printer room and push the buttons himself. They're on his computer. Yeah, right. I nod and clock in. Time to start work. Sounds like my job, actually. I'm so sorry to hear that. Time to start work. Okay, well fine. Let's do that then. Let's do exactly what the boss says. Head to the hallway. Alright. Okay, printer. So let's do that. I don't really need to mess with that right now. And that's when I don't often do this. Sometimes I like to do a little performative desk slam, but that was the first time I actually did a real desk slam off a stream. I was like, you literally just told me to go to the printer and do this thing. And now you're saying I don't really need to mess with that right now? I should probably go see if there's anything for me at my desk. This guy's more ADHD than I am. And I literally have ADHD. Like, he forgets about stuff that his boss asked him to do, like, within the same conversation. And anyway, there's nothing else that's interesting here. But hey, you know, there's a closet with incredibly tense music going in the background. You don't really have to be here. Who listens to bosses? You do if you want to keep your job. Richard's birthday. It didn't feel that long ago. Again, who is Richard? Why do we care? And why does this say redo on it? I can't even examine it. Lots of files. Great. More flavorless flavor text. Got anything to say about the files? Nothing but tape. That's what you wanted to put in. You didn't have to make that examinable, you know. You could have just left it alone, but you made the conscious decision to put in a text box and say nothing but tape. Okay. Nothing else here. So we go back. Fine. Let's just move on. Where would you like to go? All right. Break room? There's nothing really here in the break room. Not that I could see it anyway. It's pitch dark here. Used to be Richard's office. Now, I know I complained back at the house about how you need more visual clarity on these kinds of backgrounds, but this is literally supposed to be a dark room, so for the record, this is okay. I think so. I think this is fine, because it's just way too dark in here. Not that it matters. We're never coming back here anyway for the rest of this game. So, yeah, office time. Anyway, nothing to see for his computer. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to sit in the chair. Should I take a seat? All right, time to work. Whatever that work is. I don't know. Okay, let's go to work. Time to work. Oh, never mind. It's not time to work. We don't even get to see what Nolan does. Hey, Mark? Oh, hey, what do you need? Also, he's not Mark. That was Nolan. Why did you try and call for Mark? Evan Plaza. Hey, man, think you could do me a quick favor? Yeah, sure. Sure, what is it? I need to teach you how to reset the server. Everyone seems to be complaining about the servers crashing, and I'm always being subcontracted out and not here to help fix it. I see. Well, if you're up for it, meet me at the end of the hallway. That's where the server controls are. Hehe. Why'd you laugh? What's so funny about that? He definitely does IT support. And there he goes. More responsibilities. Should probably help Evan with whatever he needs. Then I should go print the papers for Peter. Okay, fine, let's go. Alright, first off, let's save. Hallway. Yeah. But, here's the thing. Let me show you what I did my first time through this. I went over here. I was like, okay, let me just check this really quick, just in case. Oh, okay, fine. Well, we can print out 3 sheets. The thing that we needed to do that warranted us coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning. How many copies would you like to print? Why is this even an option? In fact, let me click this and just see. 1 should be enough? That doesn't seem right. That might be too many. I think half should do it. Why even give us this option? I don't understand that. 3 should be it. Print? Sure. And then if you start, yeah, that's me. And then, yeah, if you pick anyone else, it doesn't allow you to. But it's fine. As an IT support expert, I can tell you that you print from the computer. Yeah, the next step should be printing these 3 pages. Print 3 pages. Again, why do I even have an option here? I printed out Peter's 3 pages and moved on with my work. Time. The work continues. So I have 8 hours left on my shift. Let's get this work day over with. Time moves on and Nolan heads out from work. Oh. Okay. So printing those 3 pages out took my entire day, huh? I couldn't just go out and then talk to whatever his name was to help learn how to reset the server? I guess not. What? Boy, does that feel like a bug. It's like, because you have to do both anyway, right? Yeah. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I gotta, oh, there we go. Open car door. Again, that's the problem when you have these super low res, bit crushed images. This is an investigative game, by the way. And if you can't tell what you're looking at, that's a problem. You gotta fix that. I know they know what they're doing because that opening movie that we saw, perfectly fine. No problems there whatsoever. It's only here where we're having the problem. Should I check my tires? I mean, yeah, you should, but that's a very strange question to just pose out of nowhere. But sure, let's do it. Better safer than sorry, that's for sure. Shoot, a nail on my right-left tire. I'll have to take it easy on the freeway. Can anybody tell that there's a nail on the right-left tire? Can anybody even tell that we're looking at the right-left tire here? I stared at this screen for like a solid minute and I had no idea what I was looking at. Been here since 5 a.m. and this happens? Yep. I don't even see a tire. I don't even see what I'm supposed to be looking at. I do not get paid enough to be dealing with this. That is the most relatable thing Nolan has said this entire game so far. I get inside my car and rest my head against the headrest on the car seat. It feels just as comfortable as my bed. That's pretty sad, actually. I inhale deeply and feel the air go into my lungs and slowly rest my eyes before my drive. I turn the ignition on and start preparing to leave the parking garage. Once I left the garage and got to the intersection before the highway, I noticed something. Oh, that's all one sentence. I noticed something as I was looking both ways. What in the world? Is that a person? Is it? I don't know. A black outfit on a pitch black background. It's kind of hard to figure out who they are. What are they wearing? I don't know. It blends in perfectly well with the background. I have no idea what they're trying to wear. The figure blankly stares at my car. For some reason, I can't move. Are they pulling a prank on me? Damn, my heart is beating fast. There's a car behind me waiting for me to go. I gotta get home. What am I doing here having a staring contest with this idiot? That should be a question. I start to drive up the frontage and something doesn't feel normal. Who was that earlier? I've never seen anyone outside the office this late at night. Maybe it was someone from the office playing jokes on me. Just a prank, bro. Stab. Yeah, new age YouTube prankster videos. Stabbing prank. Probably Mark again. There were no other cars in the parking lot, though. So it couldn't have been. Why are you showing us this image of what I believe to be traffic? I got this twisted feeling in my stomach when I saw that thing. There are a lot of people out driving right now. There usually aren't this many. God damn it, my tire is running low on pressure. I gotta head to the other overpass I don't usually drive. This is why you keep spare tires, guys. There's no one here. Like always. This didn't need to be its own dialogue box. A car's behind me. Wait. No. I just realized. That same car has been tailing me ever since I left the office. This is twice now that he's seen a car tailing him. One of them happened to be possibly Mark, and now it's a different one. What was that, Max Sharpie? Message deleted by the Mandalorian? Excuse you, we don't have any Mandalorians in here. My heart is about to come out of my chest. Why is this person going down the same, going down the freeway in the same direction that I am? Completely unheard of. I shift down a gear and slam the accelerator as far as I can. I'm sorry, shift down a gear? That means you're going to go slower. Hello? The car speeds up behind me. Crap, I gotta slow down. I forgot about the damn tire. My head starts to hurt. Huh? They're gone. I just need to get home. I'm probably overthinking things. I need to take it easy and just get some rest. Okay, so never mind the fact that the car is, you're still showing the car right behind me. Clearly the danger is past. Don't show the car behind me, and cut out the tense music. We are no longer in the action section. I drive into my neighborhood and shut off my car. Jesus. Nail is still in there. Please cut off the music. I decided to head inside. Please cut off the music. Should I check clicks like Evan told me to? Excuse me, what? Clicks? What's clicks? Who's Evan? Yeah, Evan was the guy that set the server. Told us about the server. So, yeah. Boy, this is not right. Everything about this scene is wrong now. Because we didn't learn anything about clicks. The music is still playing. And, yeah, I don't even know. Alright, I think I'm checked out that site. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna pretend this is actually the route that I played the first time. So I was like, what the hell is clicks? And I just went ahead and said yes, because why not, right? Has anyone heard about the killings around town? Huh? What killings? Of course the pleb would say that. Imagine not being self-aware. Imagine not knowing what a spacebar is. I like how I'm clicking on the button even though the mouse is clearly on top, above the button. Shut up, Missile, just asking. Jeez, get a life. You're always in the dark when it comes to news. Well, could someone who actually knows about the killing say something? No one knows anything. From what I've heard, not even the police know. There we go. Did you guys not hear the radio last night? The killer's been caught. Plural? Okay. Final someone with some info. Thanks, B. Baron. Finally. Okay, Missile. Whatever. The band? What band? What station was it? Also, who ended up being the killer? Supposedly, it was this guy named Adrian. Also, the radio was 19.4 kV. The killers? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Nah, that ended up being the wrong person. Then why did they announce it on the radio? I don't know. Why are you asking me? Go ask them. Yeah, y'all so oblivious. Haven't y'all heard about the Monarch Vertigo? There we go. Roll credits. Title drop. We got it. We're here. I've heard about it, but it's probably BS. Nah, it's not. Proof? Here's the link. Well, if it's anything I trust, it's a stranger's link on an unknown forum. Check it out. Probably fake reminds me of the UFO vids, huh? Yeah, you're probably right. Well, if there's anything I trust, it's an unknown link based on that led us from an unknown link to a site that we don't know anything about. Hey, so I saw this when I was out at the park yesterday. Isn't this like some killer... Whoops. Oh, yeah, we're leveling. Okay. Fake lol, nice try. Whoa, so cool. That was my fault, by the way. I accidentally right-clicked, and yeah, that brought up the menu. This guy needs to take a fishing training. No kidding. How'd you get that pic? I just took a pic, then I zoomed in after. Why? Cause see, I never seen it in a photo before. It's all been she said, he said, so it makes me believe this is fake. Honestly, it's probably a prank. I just thought the pic was cool. It might not be. Be careful. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. And then he just closed his own thread. Okay. Not really know much info, but now I know what got Richard. And he just believes this. Aaron, I think a fishing training is the least of Nolan's concern. How did you make the link between this random site and what killed our coworker? I wonder if anyone's texted me. Huh? Mark's asking me to go to the arcade. Sure, whatever, I'll head over. So, going out drinking is a no-go, but going to the arcade, perfectly fine. Okay. Gotta clear my head somehow. Just gotta be careful driving now, since my car's tire has a nail now. I drive over there slowly. Please put some punctuation. And we're just over here. See, this would have been a good opportunity for him to walk over there. Because we could have seen, more about the place that he lives in. How the world's been impacted by the killers. Had a chance to talk to people. But nope, straight to the arcade. Also, it would have made more sense because, if I'm home and I know I have a nail in my tire, and for whatever reason I just don't have a spare, I'm not going to take that thing out. I don't care how much I need to clear my head. If I need to clear my head, just go for a walk. This is the spot where all the cool kids hang out. So we're a cool kid now, huh? This guy's sounding like you guys think I sound whenever I try to pass myself off as a kid. Okay, I'm here. So many games and not enough room to think. Let's just get this over with. Well, maybe I should just enjoy this time to decompress. Does not have to be a chore if it doesn't need to be. I'm wasting time here pondering. I need to meet up with Mark. Some pinball machines. Not really a huge fan unless it's Aftausi Wars. I really enjoy the sounds from that one. Whatever that is. Open wheel style pinball machine. Looks cool. This place seems oddly empty. I'm just gonna keep moving on. Because I think I've made my point. Also, look at this. This is so hard to tell what's where. Definitely need to work on the contrast for everything that we see here. Because, boy, this all starts blending together. Mark isn't here. This is annoying. Wasting my time. What the? I don't feel safe. You saw the same figure that you saw earlier, and that's your first reaction? I don't feel safe. Yep. Okay. We'll just calmly make our way backwards. What in the world is that thing? I have to get out of here. Yeah, so if anyone knows about a slow-paced point-and-click adventure game that does a chase sequence well, I would love to know about it. Whoops. Because, yeah. I was actively trying to get myself killed, I remember, like my second time through. And yeah, I still have time to go examine the other arcade machines as I'm getting pursued. But yeah, this sort of thing just does not work. I appreciate the ingenuity, I appreciate the attempt, but in this time, this is a big swing and a miss for me. Because, yeah, you just can't do chase sequences like this. And I know you know how to do some chase sequences because we're about to find out how this dev handles other chases. Press the button. Okay. What a short ride. Where am I? I exit the elevator. And there we go. It's just a movie now. What? Oh, look at that. There's no noise filter. It's almost like this just looks... And look how clear everything is, despite the fact that it's all blurry. Yeah, take out the noise filter, or at least reduce the noise filter, because this looks way better. How did it get here? Yeah, see, this looks way worse, because of the noise filter. No, I will not fall to this. No way, not now. God damn it, I gotta run. My eyes? Yeah. And that was Monarch Vertigo, everybody. Well, that was a game. Yeah. Alright, let me see if I can't just... Yeah, alright. So, Monarch Vertigo. No default assets. True. True. So the reason why I wanted to highlight this one was mostly because I wanted to put it on contrast to the last visual novel that we did. So they're two very different games. I get it, and it's not fair to compare the two of them. I get that. But I wanted to highlight the fact that I could forgive the backgrounds in Moonlight Blessed because they were not the focus of the game. They were just there to provide backdrops. I think the problem with Moonlight Blessed's backgrounds were because the noise was so strong, it overpowered the sprites of the main characters. Here, the noise is a different problem for a different reason. The noise is so bad that it distorts what you're supposed to see in a game where you're supposed to be investigating these pictures and examining things. So, Monarch Vertigo, a game where we spent about 5 minutes total talking about the main plot, and 10 minutes, I want to say, just following Nolan's life with no real insight into what kind of life he's led. That is a problem of misaligned sights. And when I say misaligned sights, I mean like you're focusing on the wrong things. Which wouldn't be too much of a problem for me if the things that you are focusing on were interesting. Like, if they had more insight into Nolan's life, but all we see is him being confused as to what's in his own room, spending more time brushing his teeth than actually learning more about the world, and then deciding what to cook for dinner, which ultimately was a completely meaningless choice. I respect the idea of going for a unique visual style, because I can tell you right now, I haven't seen anything like this so far. I definitely respect that. But that alone is not going to be enough. If you're going to go so far from default RPG Maker, you need to have a clear vision of what exactly it is you want. And I can't tell if the dev had a clear vision that just went awry, or if they were just trying to be different for the sake of being different. By the way, you guys remember that intro? That full motion video intro? Did any of that seem relevant to what we just saw? No? Okay. Yeah, because it didn't for me either. Oh, but Nova, this game is very clearly a demo. It's not like a complete game. Yeah, well, as a judge, that's not a concern for me. I have to talk about what's here. And what's here is a swing and a miss for me, dog. I'm sorry. But yeah. So, devs, don't take this as to say I think you should stop. I don't want you guys giving up. But this needs a lot of rework before this is going to be this will be something good. You needed to fix the text issues. You know, I'm not too concerned about that. Yes, it is a story-driven adventure where 90% of it is text. And yes, that text does need to be fixed. But that's something that another round of editing can deal with. I feel like there are bigger issues to worry about. Here. You're not wrong, Looney. Just want to make that clear. I don't disagree with you. I just think that there are bigger issues that need to be fixed before you get to the text. Never mind the fact that there's weird grammar, bad punctuation. Like, yeah, that's all there. But the bigger issue is the lack of clarity in the images that you're supposed to be investigating, and the basically nonsensical story, and the fact that Nolan is just absolutely not an interesting character to follow. Next on the docket, Divinity's Crown. What? Don't tell me that's a game you submitted for the jam. Hang on, let me go through my list. Is that a jam game, Sharpie? Nope. I don't see it on the list. Or is that just a game that you made? I didn't submit that? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm just being a smartass. I don't even know what Divinity's Crown is. So, yeah. Okay, and on that note, we're going to go ahead and finish off here. All right, yeah. Thank you all so much for dropping by. I really do appreciate it. It's my looter. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, we're not playing that. We are absolutely not going to play that. But yeah, thank you so much for dropping by. I did not get to the other game that I wanted to get to, so guess what? That's something we'll have for Friday. So yeah, just go ahead and delete these other games. I can always re-extract them later. And yeah. So in general, again, these are just, I don't expect perfection in these jams. So games that try to do something different, I will always respect. That's why I wanted to give Monarch Vertigo a highlight, because I think it tried something different. And I wanted to give a more in-depth talk as to why I feel like it didn't work. But hey, maybe the other judge that played this game will disagree with me. I don't even know. Wait, who's the other judge? I mean, I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell you guys, because if they want to, they can tell they can say if it is them. I just want to see for myself. Ah, okay. All right. Glad I got to catch the last bit of the stream. Well, I appreciate you dropping by. But yeah, I will continue judging more games, and then hopefully we'll have more than one game to play on Friday. Until then, devs, if you're listening to this, feel free to respond to anything that I brought up, and I will happily clarify. But until then, I will see you guys on Friday. Let us go raid. So we raided Hawk last couple of times. Let's go raid Benny. Benny needs some more love. Alrighty then. Have a lovely night, and you all also have a lovely night. Thank you all once again for dropping by. Alright. Talk to you all later. Oh, right. Yeah, I have to wait for this thing for the raid to be ready. So what's up? How you guys doing? Y'all having a good Wednesday? Everything doing all right? Just kidding. Bye.